In a couple minutes, we'll be joined on the other side of a break in the pregame show with our very own Golden Boy, Will Cooper. He will have the call with me here tonight as we take you the rest of the evening. And then, of course, after our broadcast tonight, we will return you to Christmas music again so that folks can continue to enjoy the holiday of lights and the sights and sounds that this time of year brings. But first, the issue at hand is a little December playoff football. It's a rarity for a lot of areas, but tonight, the River Ridge Knights go into round number 2 after an overtime victory last week right here at the Ridge against Kennesaw Mountain 35-34. We'll talk about that matchup here in just a moment. Meanwhile, the Rome Wolves with no problem against Habersham Central in their first round matchup. They are the opponent tonight, and they have a lot of playoff and state championship pedigree and tradition. Should be a good one. River Ridge and Rome in round 2 right here on WLJA Radio, as the temperatures creep down into the mid-40s with a blustery wind and a little bit of rain mixed in. It's been on and off all night long here. We've got hands on our tent to keep it from flying off the top of the stands here at River Ridge High School in Woodstock down Arnold Mill Road. We're going to take a 2-minute break. When we return, we will welcome you into the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Cherokee pregame show to break down this matchup and some of the other area action going on tonight, as well as a brief look back at Cherokee County football in 2020. Stay tuned. Our live coverage of the Cherokee County Game of the Week rolls on in 2 minutes. You're listening to WLJA Radio 101.1 FM.
Welcome to Perk Up. What can I get you?
Can I have a large, skinny, non-fat macchiato with
My 15-year-old has the taste buds of a middle-aged woman, but she's no adult. That's why we took her to Children's for her scoliosis. Their pediatric orthopedic program is nationally ranked. Their specialists understand growing bones and how to treat them. My kid ordering an adult-style coffee? Okay. Going to an adult doctor? Not so much.
Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Orthopedics. Where you take them matters. Learn more at choa.org/ortho.
Game on! Football's back, and we're celebrating at the all-new Sutherland Nissan Cherokee County. Get game-winning offers right now. Drive the best-selling 2020 Nissan Rogue, or check out the redesigned 2020 Sentra. If you try it, you'll buy it. They're that good, fun, and affordable. Catch the savings now before they're gone. Only at the all-new Sutherland Nissan Cherokee County, across from the Holly Springs Walmart. Online at NissanNorthAtlanta.com. Remember, if it doesn't say Sutherland, you paid too much.
Hi, I'm Dave Garner.
And I'm Janet Mueller.
And we're your local Woodman Life representatives.
You know, Dave, it must be tough announcing games and still providing financial security through life insurance, retirement, and member benefits.
Well, Janet, it's an honor, but it means that I have a great partner when it comes to protecting families from financial hardship.
So come see us.
Or call us at 706-273-9347.
Or 770-894-7898.
And find out how Woodman Life can help you leave memories, not expenses. Woodman Life, standing strong for generations.
As an athlete, you put it all on the line each and every day. Training, skill, and dedication. It's with these same characteristics that Pinnacle Orthopedics puts it all on the line for you, ensuring that you continue to play the game you love. With 5 locations and 16 physicians and surgeons, Pinnacle Orthopedics is the team physician for Kennesaw State University, as well as for many other schools and teams. Using only the latest technologies, Pinnacle Orthopedics is dedicated to keeping you at the top of your game.
Welcome into the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Cherokee pregame show. I am your host, Will Cooper, and unfortunately, we don't have anybody else to talk, so you're going to have to listen to us two as I welcome back in my good friend, longtime broadcast partner, the diamond voice of the broadcast, the golden man, Diamond Dave Garner. What's up, buddy?
Well, you know, I mean, it took all year long for it to happen.
It did.
But we're without Vaughn Brown, Touchdown Brown, and we're also without Art Mosley of Turd Ferguson podcast fame. They had prior commitments. Vaughn's been a little under the weather tonight. We certainly send out our thoughts and prayers to he and family. And, of course, Art as well, coaching. He had a basketball commitment. Hey, you know,
listen,
coaching calls.
It does. And that is an understandable thing. Vaughn, on the other hand, just getting a little soft towards the end of the season.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Well, also, you know, it's difficult because he's not allowed at River Ridge anymore. So, you know, they stop him at the gate and told him to go home last time.
You know, I never really thought about that, but that's a good point.
It is.
That's a very good point.
That's why he's not here, despite what anybody else will tell you. Now, Art does have a proper motivation to be so. He sent us a picture from the floor the hardwood, if you will, and made a good job pointing out that he is not here for this one. But we also do have Ronnie on the spot, Ronnie Cooper, joining us as well. So we'll try and get him involved a little bit this afternoon. As it is, as Dave, as you mentioned, buddy, it is just cold. And it's kind of a throwback to the beginning of our broadcasting days. You know, I know you started in 2017 with WLJA, and I came on in 2018, but it's very similar to a 2018 game that I had the opportunity to call with Larry Prather at Sequoia. The only difference between this game and that game was the game at Sequoia happened to be about 5 degrees colder than it is now, and it rained the entire night, and the tent that we had set up then was not low enough, and the rain kept blowing in, and all the prep that I had done was written on paper and pen, and unfortunately for me, it was all gone by the first quarter, so I ended up kind of flying blind there. Hopefully the rain will at least stay away, or at least the tent will keep us secure for the remainder of tonight. But nonetheless, we do have a good game here for you. Congratulations to the River Ridge Knights, of course, going 10-0, 9-0 in the regular season, and coming in to face a Rome team that we do have a little bit of history with. We saw them face off against Cherokee and lose that game 21-15. Obviously, Cherokee, a tough customer out of 7A. They unfortunately fell to North Gwinnett last week. North Gwinnett will be moving on and playing West Forsyth tonight, so we'll keep an eye on that game for you in case you're wondering how North Gwinnett matches up against West Forsyth. And then we also have some football news to get to, so don't go anywhere. We've got plenty to talk about on the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Cherokee pregame show.
Absolutely. And watching right now to kind of paint the picture out there to all of our listeners, the officials, the ref crew here tonight, standing at midfield, and they're all kind of jumping up and down and moving around a little bit, trying to stay warm. I mean, It's very, very windy here tonight. As folks out there listening know, we had a lot of rain, of course, that blew through North Georgia today, and it's kind of been on and off. The last shower, I guess, was, about 30 minutes ago, maybe?
Yeah.
So we do have a tent here, but we're having to manually hold this thing down. We got bungee straps, we got other stuff, but the wind is whipping so bad we're still having to manually hold this thing down as we're talking. So hopefully the wind will subside a little bit throughout the evening, but right now it's a no-go.
It is a no-go. Of course, the winner of this River Ridge Rome game will move on and face the winner of the Brunswick and Lee County game. Good news for River Ridge fans. Of course, you don't want to look ahead of this game, as Rome is no easy customer coming into town. But there is some good news, is that if you do happen to get a chance to beat the Rome Wolves, then they will move on and face whoever wins that game. And if it happens to be Lee County, they're both first seeds. But River Ridge won the virtual coin flip, so in that case, River Ridge would get to host Lee County. So they would not have to go to South Georgia, and that drive from Lee County, you can ask the folks over at Creekview, is not a short drive at all. So hopefully, if River Ridge is able to take care of business here, then they'll get to face Lee County in Woodstock, which would be a big deal for them.
Yeah, and maybe a little added motivation tonight for River Ridge as if they needed it, especially coming off of that game last week, which we'll talk a little bit more about, just kind of eked it out, a 1 versus 4. You expect River Ridge to come in, and a lot of people felt like maybe needed to be a little bit more impressive and show a little more than they did. However, they showed a lot of maturity and poise, which is really what they've done all year long. So you got to feel like coming in tonight, as we said last week at the end of our broadcast last week, that River Ridge is the team that now kind of, to me, has the pressure off of them. It's Rome, the team that comes in here that has all the championship pedigree and everything, that feels like they should come in here, and a lot of people have them picked to win. So again, if you're the Knights, you're in a good position. You know that if you win again, you're here next week in the quarterfinals against a very good Lee County team.
Yep.
But it should be a little bit of an extra motivator tonight.
For sure, and Mike Collins has his boys fired up, as we mentioned. They are 10-0 as the River Ridge Marching Knights come into the field, so you'll be hearing them in the background as well. We do want to keep you updated on a few other games around the area. Obviously, this is the only Cherokee County game, but we do have Fannin County to keep an eye on way up north in Blue Ridge, so hello to all of our folks up there. They'll be playing Hurd County, who comes in 7-4. Obviously, Fannin 9-0, undefeated to this point. The winner of that game will go on to face Northeast or Fitzgerald, whoever wins that game. And once again, it'll go to a coin flip. If Northeast wins that, as they're a first seed, Fannin's a first seed, so we'll have to see on that end. We're also going to keep you updated on North Gwinnett and West Forsyth. As we mentioned, we do want to see who wins that game, just because it would kind of give you a measuring stick for Cherokee. The other side of that, we want to see what Sprayberry does against Carrollton.
Yep.
Sprayberry will be on the road against Carrollton. Sprayberry came in and took care of business against Creekview in a big way. And then the other game is obviously Brunswick and Lee County, which is what River Ridge fans will want to keep their eye on to the side. Of course, you want to pay as much attention as possible to this game here, but you never want to look too far ahead. But Brunswick and Lee County, of course, Brunswick a 3 seed, Lee County the 1st seed, and mostly number 1 in 6A for the most part. There are a few, Buford's been there a few times and things like that you'll see around. But for the most part, it seems like Lee County is the number 1. So obviously the Brunswick will be a little bit of an underdog in that one, but we'll have to wait and see how it turns out.
Yeah, and going back to that Fannin County game, I mean, the Rebels, a lot of folks felt like last week going up against St. Pius in the first round that, Fannin, even though they were region champs, would possibly be an underdog because St. Pius, because of the way their region fell because of COVID and the losses counted, really should have been probably a 2 seed, but they dropped to the 3 seed because of the rules and so forth, and really could have been the number 1 seed out of that region. So a lot of people felt like coming in that maybe Fannin was an underdog, but to go out and do what they did last week, I think they've definitely got a lot of people's attention. They have a lot of good skill position players. They have a lot of speed. They got some size up front. Very athletic Fannin Rebel team, and certainly possibly the best team in history. I mean, for Fannin County in 1995, I believe they went 11-1, made it to the second round. But this team right here, I mean, they're going up against some really good competition, and I wouldn't be surprised to see the Rebels take on Hearn County. I think if they win tonight, they may be on the road down at Fitzgerald next week.
Yes,
but definitely looking forward to seeing the Rebels and seeing what they can do tonight in Blue Ridge.
And of course, the thing to keep in mind with that 9-0 record is that they did have to cancel 2 games, one of those against Gilmer, which caused a lot of controversy down there between LJ and Blue Ridge. So if you do want to look ahead to 2021, that matchup should be a lot of fun, obviously. But obviously in a COVID-shortened year, or even if it wasn't designed to be shortened, it has been by most teams. River Ridge being one of those teams, scheduled to play 10 in the regular season, only got 9 in, had to cancel it against Johns Creek. Ended up not mattering. They ended up claiming the region championship anyway. But on the other side of that coin, obviously River Ridge 10-0 instead of the 11-0 that they would be if you assume they would beat Johns Creek and assume that they would have beat Kennesaw Mountain anyway, regardless of that. So, but 10-0, no small feat, obviously, especially for a River Ridge team that for the most part, since we've been covering it, since WLJA has really been kind of non-existent in the postseason talk, and to kind of have them here in this case, not only being in the playoffs, but being the only Cherokee County team left in round 2.
Right.
It really says a lot about how Coach Collins has these guys fired up, and a guy that you know very well.
Yeah, and the thing is, coming into the season, we kind of felt like this might be the year that River Ridge turned a corner, but who would have known that they would have been the last man standing in Cherokee County? I mean, we talked about at the beginning of the year, and we always preview things. We kind of felt like Cherokee would be good. We felt like Creekview would be good, and they were. We weren't sure about, some of the others, and things played out, and, Sequoia had a chance, Woodstock came up a little bit short. Etowah obviously struggled, but ended with a big win. But River Ridge, it was like, well, make or break. But it's definitely been a make year, for these guys. And just very impressed with what I've seen, as we talked about earlier. River Ridge, they have a lot of poise. They're battle tested. They've matured a lot this year. Their only other playoff appearance was back in 2012. It was a round 1 loss against Grady. So, it's already been really the best season in school history when you think about, the fact that they've made it as far as they ever have, even here in round 2. And, Will, what is it about round 2 games where the weather's like it is? Remember last year we were on top of the press box at East Coweta.
So, it happens that Sequoia game that I alluded to begin with was actually the quarterfinal game. It was the third round because we happened to be at Creekview for the first 2 when Poe played, and then Haversham Central came into town in that shootout of a game, really. But, yes, that was the third round. But you're exactly right. This is the first time we've had December football on WLJ. Obviously, because the season got pushed back 2 weeks, it backs up the schedule, so we're into December now. So it is officially Christmas season. Thanksgiving has come and went. So for everybody who's been waiting to put the Christmas tree up or whatever, go ahead and do it. I'm sure you already have, but hey, don't need me to tell you that twice. But yeah, when you look down the schedule of sort of things that we've done in the postseason in our history, it does seem that this time last year we took the trip over to Archer and followed the Cherokee Warriors over there. And fortunately for us, Archer was very gracious, allowed us to sit inside with them, and even provided some refreshments for us. And Dave, you told me something that I kind of laugh at. It's one of my favorite memories of you and me calling football games. When they sat us inside and they said, "Hey, there's drinks in the fridge if you want it." They were very nice to us. You guys have rosters. You got everything you need. You absolutely appreciate it, guys. As soon as they walked away, you looked at me and you said, "Archer knows they're going to win." And I said, "What are you talking about?" And you said, when a team invites you into their press box and sits you up front, that is their way of telling you that they think that they can win.
Yeah.
And sure enough, man, ended up where Cherokee was just a step away after that upset victory over Westlake in 2019. Now Westlake moves down to 6A. They're still in the bracket as well. But, when you said that to me, that's one of the things that I thought was really funny. Obviously, Cherokee ended up following that game to Archer. And Archer's another team that's back in the bracket for 7A, still in there in the second round as well. So just thought you should know that story.
Yeah, it's one of those things where there's some schools they want to give you a front row seat. for a whipping.
That's exactly what you said.
And, and that's kind of what happened. And Archer obviously was a very good football team last year. So, tonight maybe it's a good omen that we're right outside the press box, kind of outside in the elements here a little bit. Hey, who says we got it easy? We're not in the nice, cozy booth tonight.
We're not.
We're out here just like the rest of the fans, all bundled up. So we're looking forward to it, though, and I'm excited.
Yeah, 100%. We're waiting for the flags to be presented out here on this windy night before we take a break here. We should mention a little bit of news in Cherokee County earlier this week. Coach Brent Buddy they parted ways from Coach Brent Buddy over at Woodstock. So Woodstock will look to hire their sixth coach in history. Brent had been there for 11 years, had a really good stint there. But unfortunately, the last 3 seasons, he finished 3-7, all 3 of those years. And for a program like Woodstock, after 2016 and 17 with, 2 second-round appearances, they wanted something a little bit more. And obviously, wish Coach Buddy the best. He will not have to search far for a job. Obviously, being in a 7A school and having success there, the resume speaks for itself. We expect him to stay, somewhere in the higher classifications. If he would like to go back and coach again, he's more than, hopefully we see him again at some point. We wish the best all for him. One of the best guys that you have in Cherokee County, a real upfront guy. The story that we ran for a while was that, his wife battled cancer while he was there, and the Woodstock community did a good job down there in Town Lake rallying to him. And unfortunately, the teams had to part ways with him. So Woodstock will be searching for their head coach. After a couple years of a lot of consistency in coaching, Etowah, now Savela leaves for West Forsyth. And then Mike Collins new here. Coach Carter left Creekview, and now they replaced Coach Williams back there. So it's kind of a fresh batch. Where if you had left the 2018 season and not looked in 2019 or this year, then you think, wait a minute, where'd everybody go? But it's for the most part, it's been a very good change for most of these teams.
Yeah, it has, and I hate it for Coach Buddy. I mean, obviously our thoughts are with him, and we certainly wish him the best. And just kind of an unfortunate last couple of years. His father Chuck was the first head coach, at Woodstock. So a lot of tradition with the Buddies being at Woodstock. But like you said, I know that Coach Buddy will land on his feet. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him, maybe back in the local area as well. And we hope he stays close, certainly. But, it's just one of those things, as we know, Woodstock has struggled, even with some of the athletes they have, just not been able to really, put it together. And so, as you mentioned, parting ways this past week. That was, of course, the big story that broke here football-wise in Cherokee County. Mm-hmm. So here we are, just, 2 weeks. We're in the second round of the playoffs, and the coaching carousel has started to go around here in the state of Georgia, particularly North Georgia, and even locally here in Cherokee County. So, again, we do wish Coach Buddy all the best, and look forward to seeing him to see where his career takes him next.
Well, another bit of surprise change also came out of Dalton, Georgia's Coach Matt Land, who won Coach of the Year in 2019, was let go from the Dalton Catamounts up there. A lot of Creekview and River Ridge and Sequoia fans will know that by heart, unfortunately, because Dalton with a guy named Jameer Gibbs, if you're a Tech fan, you happen to know him, lighting up the board, voted as the ACC Rookie of the Week a number of times. Right. He's absolutely just dominating over there. So, with that kind of talent, won 2019 Coach of the Year. They made it all the way to the Elite Eight, I believe, in the 6A bracket last year. And then, obviously, they played in the region with Allatoona and Harrison. And those two played not only for the championship, but the state championship as well. So, a real tough region coming out of that side on the other end of that spectrum.
Yeah, and, 3-7 just don't cut it in Dalton.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. I mean, Dalton is one of those, cornerstone programs in North Georgia, Northwest Georgia. I mean, you think about, the programs that stand out. You think about Carrollton. You think about Cartersville. You think about this Rome team we're going to see tonight. Mm-hmm. And you think about, the Calhouns and the Daltons of the world. Yeah. And those are the ones that have the championship and tradition. So, it's hard to believe that last year, Coach of the Year. But, like I said, some schools you can get away with a 2-8 or a 3-7 every once in a while. Mm-hmm. Dalton, little shorter string over there, and that's just kind of always the way it's been. And a lot of pressure to win consistently at a program like that. They have a very high standard over there in Dalton, and rightfully so. A lot of big carpet money over there and stuff, So it is what it is. But we wish Coach Land the best. He has been good as a visiting coach, as you mentioned. Good experiences to deal with and stuff. So we know that he will definitely land on his feet as well.
Yeah, Coach Land is the only one that I emailed and asked to get a roster and some stats and stuff from the team in 2019. We were there when they had Jameer Gibbs, and I had my cell phone number at the bottom of my email signature, and he called me. And he said, look, if you have any questions, I'd love to answer them for you. I know you're calling the game. And I was like, Oh my gosh! What a way, a guy that goes out of his way to communicate with, and of
Right.
course I'm the visiting broadcast. So with all that said, I mean, just a fantastic guy over there. So we really do appreciate what he did for us in the program, and with his legacy, we expect that he will continue somewhere in North Georgia if he chooses to. Obviously, maybe at a program a little bit smaller than Dalton or with a little bit longer string as well. We're going to move into our first break of the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Cherokee pregame show. When we come back, we'll give you an in-depth analysis of the River Ridge Knights as they host the Rome Wolves in round 2 of the GHSA playoffs in 6A. You're listening to WLJA 101.1 FM.
When you are the official sponsor of the comeback, adding a few feet to a drive matters.
First down.
So does shaving 1/10 of a second off a lap. Top-rated surgery, physical therapy, and motion analysis by the sports medicine team at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta helps young athletes not only prevent injuries, but heal faster and return stronger, ready to win. Our more than 25 orthopedic and sports medicine locations are ready to assist your athlete's comeback. To learn more, visit choa.org/sportsmed.
At Foundation Financial Insurance and Wealth Management, we believe that your insurance protection and wealth management plan go hand in hand. We start by shopping your insurance with highly rated companies to find you the best combination of price and protection. With that plan in place, we can then work with you to develop a tailored financial plan. Whether you need to save money on insurance or you need a full financial plan, call us at 678-880-9571 or come by 670 East Main Street in Canton for a no-obligation consultation today. Securities and advisory services offered through Packer Land Brokerage Services Incorporated, an unaffiliated entity, member FNIRA and SIPC.
Are you looking for a great deal on a new set of tires, brake service, an oil change, or alignment?
Need a gift certificate for someone on your list?
Well then come on in to Canton Tire and Well and let our guys take care of your vehicle.
We're certain that you'll be pleased with our service.
Call Canton Tire and Will today at 770-479-6556.
From our family to yours, have a safe holiday season and a very Merry Christmas.
It's football time, and Brian Aaron at Woodstock Outlet has some great news for all the football fans.
Hey, y'all, we are glad to be a sponsor for these games and have a great time. Stay safe out there, and we just really do love being part of our community, and thankful we got the best customers a business could possibly have. And we built a new warehouse. We got it full for pickup or delivery, so we're ready to go. Y'all come see us, and we sure do appreciate you.
Welcome back into the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Cherokee pregame show. I am your host, Will Cooper, joined alongside Diamond Dave Garner, the golden voice of the broadcast. Also to the right side of me is Ronnie on the spot. Ronnie Cooper keeping stats for us this afternoon, evening, whatever you want to call it. And, of course, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention Ace of Spades Jones back on Master Controls, making us sound so good like he always does. Today we were talking about, obviously, the coaching changes that have gone around a little bit now. We've kind of, done the housekeeping and set the stage for everybody. So let's get into the nitty-gritty of this matchup between the River Ridge Knights and the Rome Wolves.
Yeah, third meeting all-time between these two. Rome leads the series 2-0 after a couple of lopsided region wins when the two were members of Region 7 5A a few years ago, back in 2014, 2015. So it's been a while, but obviously, as they say, this is not your grandfather's River Ridge Knights. This is definitely a much different River Ridge team than we've seen over the years, but a lot of the same from Rome. I mean, it's still a very good Rome team. So, they've got a guy in Wilkinson that's got 9 sacks, defensively very impressive with what they do. Offensively, they got a ton of weapons. We're going to be talking a lot about, E.J. Lackey throughout the night. He's a guy that comes in with over 1,000 yards rushing on the year with 9 touchdowns. And, the biggest thing that stands out to me about this team is that, they've had kind of a split quarterback, a two-headed monster throughout the year, but it's actually Reese Fountain, the freshman, that has played the majority of the snaps, and he's right at 1,000 yards passing. He's a 66% passer, 8 touchdowns, no interceptions, and he reminds me of a guy years ago. Now, this is way before your time.
Uh-oh.
But back in the old McEachern days when A.J. Suggs was coming up, and I know A.J. never really did a lot in college or anything, but he was a freshman quarterback playing on a McEachern team that dressed out 100-plus players, and he was dropping dimes. And I'll never forget, of all the guys dressed out on the field, you got a freshman, that's throwing all these big plays to everybody. And that's kind of what Reese Fountain reminds me of, a freshman quarterback that comes in on a team like Rome, a state championship pedigree-type team, year in and year out, and is able to make the plays he does. So I'm excited to see these guys offensively, and the flip side of that certainly is that poses a huge defensive challenge tonight for this River Ridge defense that, as you and I were talking about, hasn't been that opportunistic. They haven't had a ton of takeaways just 4 interceptions, 4 forced fumbles, 4 recovered fumbles on the year. They're going to have to find a way to steal a couple possessions tonight, I feel like, against this Rome Wolves team to have a chance to win.
Well, to build on that, Rome has a rule where they have not allowed the players or the team to publish any huddle footage. So for somebody like me who likes to watch a lot of film and get an idea of what we're going to see, it's been extremely difficult to get anything on Rome. But the one thing I can tell you is that Reese does not like to get hit. So if you're River Ridge, Brian Bradley, Hunter Coleman, your time to shine, my friends. It is obviously Brian Bradley had a huge game last week, 17 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, and a sack in that game as well. Picked up his first offer from Presbyterian as a junior there. 6'3", 215. He could add easily 30, 40 pounds onto that frame. We expect him to do that later in life as well. But see them get after it. And then for River Ridge on the other side, you're averaging 1 turnover per game on your offensive side. Let's keep that to 0. That way you don't have to keep your defense doesn't have to come up big with anything, and keep everything in front of you if you're the defense. Don't let these guys get behind you. Yeah, Brian Bradley, as you talked about, a huge line last week. As you said, those 6 tackles for a loss. Had the lone sack, 19 combined tackles, 15 of those solo. He definitely got to watch tonight. They're going to need another big night. Rome has seen that on tape, so it may be someone else that has to step up tonight on that side of the football. They're going to go to the coin toss. We're going to go to our final break of the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Cherokee pregame show. When we come back, we'll have the first half of football action here for you on WLJA. 2 minutes, and we're back.
Welcome to Perk Up. What can I get you?
Can I have a large, skinny, non-fat macchiato with
My 15-year-old has the taste buds of a middle-aged woman, but she's no adult. That's why we took her to Children's for her scoliosis. Their pediatric orthopedic program is nationally ranked. Their specialists understand growing bones and how to treat them. My kid ordering an adult-style coffee? Okay. Going to an adult doctor? Not so much.
Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Orthopedics. Where you take them matters. Learn more at choa.org/ortho.
There's been so much talk about distracted driving, you're probably sick of hearing about it. Well, we'd rather you be sick of hearing about it than lose your life doing it. The caring staff with Sosby Funeral Home in Canton reminds you that we all have to go sometime, but don't rush it. Wait your turn and don't drive distracted. Keep your hands on the wheel, your eyes on the road, and make sure you stay alert and arrive alive. Drive safely and help us protect our teens. They're the only future we've got. Brought to you by Sosby Funeral Home, honoring life from 191 Jarvis Street in Canton.
Hi, it's Dave Garner, voice of the Cherokee County Game of the Week. But did you know I'm also your local Woodman Life representative and poverty prevention specialist? For over 130 years, Woodman Life has protected families with life insurance and retirement products. And as your local agent, I want to make sure that your money outlives you and that you don't outlive your money. Call or text me at 706-273-9347 or visit my Facebook page at Dave Garner Woodman Life to learn how I can help you or your loved ones today. Insurance protection, financial security, Woodman Life, standing strong for generations.
The #1 magazine to read is Enjoy Cherokee. This beautiful full-color seasonal publication keeps you in the know with articles about interesting people, fun events, hot restaurants, and cool ideas. Enjoy Cherokee is for busy people who enjoy a lifestyle magazine worth reading and keeping. You'll find Enjoy Cherokee available at most high-traffic locations and mailed free to homes throughout Cherokee County. Join the thousands who don't miss a single issue. Follow us on Facebook and find issues on enjoycherokee.com. Ask for a free publication and enjoy.
Welcome into the WLJA Cherokee County Game of the Week. We've got the River Ridge Knights as they host the Rome Wolves in the round 2 of the 6A GHSA playoffs. Welcoming in all of our friends out there, I'm Will Cooper, and to bring you through the first half of action, Diamond Dave Garner. Take it away, buddy.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it here. Temperature's right around 45 degrees, but it feels a lot colder than that on a night that, it kind of feels like, seeing these teams run through the banner, it kind of feels like something out of Remember the Titans or one of those, high school football movies where they're talking about the players talking about he's as mean as a rattlesnake, and all that kind of stuff.
We're off the rails real quick here.
So here we go. Rome won the toss. They deferred, though, to the second half, so we'll see the River Ridge offense first, and we all know that Amir Morrison's a guy that likes to get off to a fast start. He stands at his 5-yard line as the deep man. And Rome will boot it away. And again, that is number 99, their kicker, Lopez Romero, who puts a foot into it, and it is returnable. Nope, it goes 2 yards deep in the end zone as Amir Morrison watches it go by him. And so the Knights will start out at their own 20. This is a Rome Knight team, Will, that had a 40-game win streak snapped in 2018 in the semifinals against Warner Robins. So they lost, who would, of course, lose in 3 overtimes to Bainbridge in the state championship. But just this Rome team, they're loaded all over the place.
They are, and River Ridge comes into this game 33.2 points per game, score 8.8 over what teams average allowing. Rome comes in 18.6 points allowed per game, keeps teams 8.1 less than what they average scoring.
So Carson Latham goes to work. They'll hand it to Amir Morrison on the first play. He already gets his number called, but not much there, maybe a yard across the 20 to the 21, and they'll set up shop a yard into the series. Again, this Rome defense, as we've talked about, been pretty solid, 18.6, 24.2, 8-3 overall. But again, when you look at who they've beaten and even who they've lost to, they've had a lot of quality wins, and even their losses have been quality losses.
Well, all their losses come to 7A's teams that made the playoffs, so not exactly a short stint for them.
Once again, they'll go to Morrison on the ground. He goes inside. Now he bounces outside, breaks a tackle, trips over the 25-yard line, dives up to the 27. It'll be 3rd down and 3. The one thing I like about the field here at the Ridge is they do have the lighted down markers on the far side of the field, so it makes it easy to see exactly the down and distance.
Yes, not only that, they also have the play clock as well, which some teams don't, so it's very easy to keep track of what's going on here at the Ridge.
So this is a big 3rd down right here on the night's opening series. Again, we are a minute into this contest. River Ridge in all navy here tonight. Rome in the gold hats, white shirts, and the red pants with the red numerals. Here's a big 3rd down. Latham steps up in the pocket. He will run it. He dropped back there, but no one open. He just tuck it and ran it. Saw a little bit of a crease there and was able to pick up the 1st down across the 30-yard line.
Heads-up play by Carson. Doesn't want to run much, but runs just enough and did just enough there. Slid down as soon as he got to the 1st down marker. Moved those chains. A good first start for the River Ridge Knights.
Preston Cox out of the lineup. Again, trips to the near side with the receiver up top. Morrison will stay in the backfield 2 yards behind Latham, who stands 4 yards deep into shotgun. And once again, they will keep it on the ground. And Morrison breaks a tackle. He's got some room. Watch out, 45, and is finally wrestled down right at the 48-yard line. But 14 yards on the quick hitter, and Amir Morrison quickly into this game.
Yeah, Jackson Head out there was the one that got the block set up for him on the outside. Jack Hall released as well from the right guard position. Very good play out there. Moved those chains enough for a 1st down. Amir Morrison getting something rolling here early, which they're going to need to do on a cold night like tonight.
Riley Canes, the tight end on the far side. Up top, Andrew Bingham in the slot. 2 receivers again to the near side, and Morrison will have his number called. He runs away from the strong side, but this time Rome all over that play there. Again, they were trying to run out the backside, which they like to do, but that's going to be a loss of a yard. Good penetration up front by the Wolves.
Yeah, that was a good one right there on the outside run. Listen, you're not going to win every play against Rome, especially with how big they are. Looking at them, they're about a head taller than most of the Knights out there, and that's to be expected with a team like Rome. But, moving across from here, as they work from left to right across your radio dial, expect for Rome to win a few plays. But if you're River Ridge, keep the losses to a minimum. So that was a loss of 1, 2nd and 11, passing down here if they want to.
So here we go. Martell Height matched up here on the corner. Latham trying to get rid of it, does so, but incomplete. They were trying to throw near side with the trip formation, but then they threw backside to Morrison, who was the outlet out of the backfield there. But Latham under a little bit of pressure that time as Rome got a good push. And this Rome offense and defensive line up front are very big.
They are very big, especially when you look at them compared to River Ridge, who isn't a small offensive line by any stretch of the imagination. But Rome, they're a city school. They're just a little bit bigger.
So 3rd down and 11 right here, a promising drive, but it's about to stall unless they come up with a big play, and they do. A big catch by Jackson Head, who has his first one of the night, and one of the Rome defenders came up and just about had an interception there, was unable to get hands on that ball, and Riley Canes, who we talked about earlier in the year, is the guy that's had some big ball games this year, makes a huge 3rd down grab.
I believe that was actually Jackson Head, number 13, out there out of the slot position, did a good job out over the middle.
He came in there?
Yeah,
okay.
You got it. Over there, the middle of the field. So move those chains, and that's going to be a false start on River Ridge there against Jackson Head, who just caught it.
Yeah, maybe a little anxious there.
Yeah.
After that play, the adrenaline's flowing a little bit, but that's a big pass play that flips the field. Jackson Head over the middle, down to the Rome 36.
Yeah, and a really good job by Jackson to get up there. Position is his big thing. He's 6'2", 205 pounds as a sophomore. And he really earned his stripes on the basketball court last year as a freshman, where we really got to learn his name. And seeing him out there now, a true athlete doing a lot of things well, and including catching the football.
And the Knights will keep it on the ground right here, straight ahead. That's Amir, who has about 5, 6, maybe 7 yards. So they get the 5-yard penalty back.
Yeah, that was Andrew Bingham on the carry there out of the wishbone formation, and Bingham's carried it for quite a bit. 54 carries, 382 yards, and 3 touchdowns coming to this. Even a better runner than he is a receiver, but you'll see him do both. Really kind of the athlete like a Remington Adams over at Etowah.
So trying to move these guys around a little bit. This time they will move Riley Canes over into the slot on the far side. They'll keep it on the ground again. And Bingham again has his number called. Amir Morrison and Bingham both in the backfield on those last 2 snaps. So trying to throw a couple of different looks here and there at this Rome defense early.
Yeah, and that one he got bit by the turf monster there, just fell a little bit. And listen, it's been raining all day. The turf's still a little bit wet. Fans are wiping the bleachers here, trying to make sure they don't get their butts wet when they sit down. So things are just a little bit damp out there, and it's real cold. So keep that in mind throughout the night.
Well, they converted on 3rd and 11 a while ago. Here's 3rd and 9. Deep outside route is caught up against the sideline, and I think they're going to wave it off. Well, There's a good diving grab over here up against the near sideline by Jackson Head, but he just couldn't quite secure it up against and that would have given them a first down right at the marker, but it will be 4th down.
I really like River Ridge's play design. Everything they do is right to the first down marker. They don't stop 2 yards short of it. They don't do anything like that. They're trying to get the first down on every play. Looks like they're going to try and keep the offense out there as they are stopped at right at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, 4th down and 9, you're really in that in-between land. So River Ridge will go for it right here. Coach Michael Collins going to roll the dice on the Knights' opening drive. Carson Latham takes the snap, steps up in the pocket, fires deep across the middle, and he's got it caught inside the 25, and that was Riley Canes, the tight end, who made a great grab. He had to go up for that ball with 2 defenders on him and somehow brought that ball down in traffic.
I tell you, whoever's the wide receiver coach at River Ridge does a great job with these guys. They do a fantastic job. 2 hands on the ball, bring it down to the body, and go to the ground right at the first down line. Move those chains.
And the Knights quickly go no huddle right here. They do hand it back near side. Oh, there's a penalty and a horse collar. Amir Morrison trying to get to the outside there, unable to do so. But I think they are going to get.
They gave it a holding against out there on the guard, Jackson A out there. It looked like a horse collar tackle to me.
Yeah, or a face mask either way. I thought they had Jalen White, who was the defender there. I thought they had
number 7.
Oh, boy. Well, wow. So they're going to call a hold there.
Oof.
I think they might have missed one there defensively.
Yeah, and there might have been a hold there nonetheless, but there was certainly a personal foul on the tackle. But nonetheless, it'll move the Knights back from, let's see, they're going to finally stop at the 36.
So River Ridge has had to overcome 2 third down and longs on this drive. They overcame 3rd and 11 and 3rd and 9, and they'll have to overcome a little adversity here. It's 1st down and 23 after that penalty that backs them out all the way past the 35 of Rome. So it's like starting over again right here. Amir Morrison, left side, now takes the cut into the middle, and he's got a good chunk of that penalty yardage back as he goes back inside the 30 to set up a 2nd down at about 14 right here, but at least a manageable situation.
Amir is so good at finding the hole where there's not one. He is just short, he's shifty, 5'7", 150, runs hard and runs fast, and he's able to pick up yardage where a big back wouldn't be able to. Really proud of that young man.
Bingham once again in the backfield with Morrison. Carson Latham looks over at the sideline now. He's going to call an audible right here as the play comes in. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Moving left to right, and this one is an option play to Bingham. They faked to Morrison, and then Latham pitched it out to Bingham, but not anything there at all. Rome played that one nicely. No gain, maybe a yard. We'll call it 3rd down and a long 13.5.
Good try there by River Ridge, just trying to see if they can get something to the perimeter. They don't feel like they can run in between the tackles against these guys, as number 91, Stephen Green, who's 6'3", 240, and Tyson Brown, 6', 220. Both are sophomores, are up there in the middle, so can't really run up the middle against them. Got to put it out on the middle, or on the perimeter, or across the middle on the passes.
No score here in the opening quarter. River Ridge still on their opening drive, and that 3rd down play was tipped, I believe, out of the hand of Latham. They were trying to swing it out to Morrison out of the backfield, but one of the Rome Wolves got a paw on it. So it will be 4th down. And, 4th and 9's one thing, 4th and 14, maybe a different story, but the offense will stay on the field right here, it looks like.
Well, it's real difficult. You're going to try an ADO here to try to get back in field goal range. The first attempt on 4th down was at the 35. You're now at the 32, so you're still talking about a 40-plus yard field goal, probably out of the range of your field goal kicker, Scotty Rutherford, so they're going to try and make it up here.
So about 6 minutes already into this drive, a little over. It's 4th down. They're going to take a shot down the sideline, and it's caught by Jackson Head right at the 3-yard line, and he will fall across the pylon for a touchdown.
Wow, what a
throw.
grab Both of those. Good catch, good grab, good throw, everything. Did a fantastic job. It was a high-pointed ball. Carson Latham let it go, plenty of touch, and Jackson Head just absolutely mossed Martell Height. Martell, 6'1", 155 pounds up against Jackson Head, 6'2", 205. I'll take that matchup all night long. And sure enough, put it on the board. They are up 7-0 pending the extra point here.
So on 4th and 14, a 27-yard touchdown pass and catch from Carson Latham. They had Jackson Head near side one-on-one, and he was able to go up with the defender, secure the ball up against the near sideline, and then stayed inbounds and fell over the pylon. And now the PAT, and it is right through there. And so with 5:41 to play here, the River Ridge Knights eats up a lot of ground and a lot of clock, and they lead it 7-0 on the Sutherland Nissan scoreboard. We'll step aside for 30 seconds and be right back. You're listening to the Cherokee County Game of the Week. It's round 2 right here on North Georgia's 101.1 FM WLJA.
Game on! Football's back, and we're celebrating at the all-new Sutherland Nissan Cherokee County. Get game-winning offers right now. Drive the best-selling 2020 Nissan Rogue, or check out the redesigned 2020 Sentra. If you try it, you'll buy it. They're that good, fun, and affordable. Catch the savings now before they're gone. Only at the all-new Sutherland Nissan Cherokee County, across from the Holly Springs Walmart. Online at NissanNorthAtlanta.com. Remember, if it doesn't say Sutherland, you paid too much.
Welcome back into the WLJA Cherokee County Game of the Week. River Ridge up 7-0 early here as our stats man tallying everything up. We'll get you the stats after the kickoff here. Scotty Rutherford does the kickoff duties here for River Ridge, and they'll be kicking from left to right across your radio dial. The kick is up, and it's going to be a little bit of a pooch kick out to the 25-yard line. Will be fielded by the Wolves up to the 30, 35, and he's going to be met there by a whole bunch of Knights. A flag comes in late. We'll keep that an eye on that for you. But, Ronnie, you got some stats for us, brother?
Yeah, on that drive we had 16 plays, 80 total yards, 9 rushes for 41 yards, 3 of 6 passing for 57, 4 first downs, 2 penalties for minus 18 yards for River Ridge. 6 minutes and 19 seconds on the drive.
All right, Ronnie on the spot. Got him on there. How about that, Dave?
I like it. I like it, man. Now, see, he did have a spot early in the season,
It's
but
true.
I wasn't here for that one.
At River Ridge, by the way.
Yeah, so there's something about this place that.
Well, when he hears that we're going to River Ridge, he circles his calendar, drinks his peace tea before he gets here.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
And it's the opposite of Vaughn, who's not allowed here. But
Well.
here we go. So our first look at the Rome Wolves offense and our first carry. And not much there at all. Again, they were trying to hand on a little bit of an end-around play right there, but nothing doing.
Hey, that was Brian Bradley coming up for the first tackle of the loss for the day. My goodness, that young man is just on fire here and the kind of guy that can really build around your team. And I tell you, River Ridge just looks like they want to play football a little bit more than Rome does so far in this one.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens right here. Hopefully they keep that momentum going. This team has sat on the sideline for a while right here. As we talk about E.J. Lackey as the big star, and he will have his first carry of the night, but maybe
Hey, guess
2
who
yards.
that was?
Yeah.
Brian Bradley.
Right on cue again. We talk a lot about E.J. Lackey. Of course, used to go by E.J. Burks, for those that may be confused. Of course, had some family stuff. Took a different name there, and which was a good thing. And, of course, coming into the game over 1,000 yards, as we talked about, 180 carries on the year, 9 touchdowns. 2 yards on his first play there, but it's 3rd and 9, and Rome in danger going 3 and out here on their opening series.
Yeah, I got 4 split. Watch Martell Height in the slot.
Fountain throws it underneath to Lackey, who breaks the tackle. Tries to get to the near sideline, but he won't get to the first down marker as he crosses the 40-yard line. They were trying to set up a middle screen right there, and it will be 4th down and 3. And how about that? After a 6-minute-plus opening drive by River Ridge and a touchdown, defense comes out and holds Rome to a 3 and out on their opening series.
Yeah, Liam Bruton and Brandon Dye came up and made the tackle for the Knights. Good job rallying to the football, keeping them 3 yards short of the first down marker. Rome in a punting situation here. They hurry up with this.
Yep, and back deep again for River Ridge. The fair catch signal made at the 28-yard line.
Bingham, correct?
I believe that's Martineau, number 18,
okay.
that made
My
that one
apologies.
there. Yeah, Martineau has a hand in the punt return duties here tonight. So, so far now, it's early. Don't want to jinx them.
No.
3:48 left here in the opening quarter. River Ridge up 7-0, and so far everything has gone right for the Knights.
To me, they just look like they're ready to play football a little bit more. And there might be something to be said. We mentioned it about, River Ridge being the underdog again after having the end of the season, they're being the favorites. Maybe they're a little bit more comfortable with this, and some bulletin board material gets them all fired up because they look ready to play some football right now and doing a fantastic job against Rome.
Well, we talked about River Ridge maybe having the pressure off of them a little bit. Here is Amir Morrison, who busted into the middle, took a big hit there, 30-yard line, but picks up positive yardage on first down, about 3, setting up a 2nd and 7 as the clock goes inside 4 minutes here in the opening quarter.
Yeah, as we mentioned, Amir, 5'7", 150 was met rudely by Stephalian Green, 6'3", 240. And that's kind of a little bit of a mismatch. Got laid out hard, but Amir is a real tough back. You know, that's one thing about his size. You worry about durability, but his entire season he's never missed a game due to injury. So really impressed with that young man and doing a really good job so far in this game as well.
Also catches the ball well out of the backfield. This time he'll stay on the ground, though. He was a step away from breaking that one, but he still picked up a big play up to the 45. Off tackle there, and a first down for the Knights, who punch it out of their end.
I tell you, Amir Morrison just has that one-step ability. He's very similar to Jahmyr Gibbs when he gets out in the field. Now, obviously, he's not as big as Jahmyr and not nearly as shifty, but that speed, if he gets into the second level, man, you can just watch him run. But that time he got tripped up just as he made it to the first down marker.
Bingham Morrison in the backfield again. This time Bingham will get the carry straight ahead, puts his shoulder down and burrows forward. Maybe 2 yards there. Again, Rome closes up in the middle. Jackson Head once again on that last play, one-on-one near side. And I would expect that throughout the night, especially based on what we saw in that opening series, they may take another shot or two downfield.
Well, an important thing to mention is that they've gone from the corner Martell Height to Jaquavius Wise, 6'3", 185, a little bit bigger than 6'1", 155, the corner that was on him one-on-one. So watch that matchup. Maybe want a little bit more size against Head moving forward.
Play action fake. Latham rolling left, firing deep, but that one is going to be in and out of the hands down at the other 41 there. He had a receiver.
I believe that was Riley Canes.
Yeah, I think so. He went up there. Martineau also up there as well. I think Martineau tried to grab it over there on the far sideline before it went out of bounds. That would have been a River Ridge first down, but it's incomplete, so 3rd and 8.
Once again, they do a real good job with the stop routes, stopping at the first down marker. That's one of the most frustrating things you'll see a team do is on 3rd and 8, they'll stop at the 7-yard line and then get tackled and you're expecting them to try and get back to the first down marker. River Ridge cuts off all their routes at the first down marker.
So big 3rd down right here. Latham this time running for his life, rolling right. Has a man. That's Bingham caught just across the midfield stripe. Going to be just short of the first down by a yard. They needed 8. They got 7.
All right.
And that brings up an interesting play call right here.
If it's me, I punt it. But now listen, you haven't gotten this far by being conservative with it. The ball is on the, let's see, you're into Rome territory now, so you're at the 47-yard line. So 3 yards from the midfield stripe, and it looks like they're going to try and figure something out here. Maybe one of Larry Prather's famous ADOs. Carson Latham is under center, so it does lend to some trickeration.
4th down and a yard, and it looks like Rome's going to burn a timeout here. Yeah,
I believe they only had 10 men on the field.
Yeah, you may be right there. Coach John Reed burning the first of 3. River Ridge still has all 3. 2:10 left here, opening quarter. River Ridge leads at 7-0 on the Nissan Sutherland scoreboard here. Get John Reed in his 6th year as head coach at Rome, 19th overall, 183 and 57. They were 2016 and 17 back-to-back state champs. He also won back-to-back titles at Alcoa, Tennessee in 04 and 05. He's been at East Paulding, where he led them in the playoffs basically every year, and also at Tift County. He's had success basically everywhere that he's been. And their losses this year, of course, to Cherokee, Collins Hill, and Carrollton, Will, as you said, all 7A teams. So this Rome team coming in, you figured they'd be tough and loaded and ready, but so far it's the newbies to the playoffs, if you will, River Ridge, that looks to be the more experienced poise team so far.
You know, and it's been that way this season. We thought when they were going into Creekview's experience, they're used to winning, they're used to having these big games, but River Ridge came in and looked calm up until the last drive when they won. And now that's the way River Ridge looks now, is we've got some whistles somewhere.
And there is a flag on the
there
play.
There is. I wonder if it's a sideline warning, maybe.
Yeah, I think it is. Yep. Something happened. Well, Coach.
Well, hold on. They're moving the ball up,
yeah,
so it couldn't have been. It's a illegal substitution on Rome. Automatic first down. Move those chains.
Wow.
And off the timeout, Rome had an illegal substitution.
You don't see that very often. And Coach Reed was not happy. I think he was barking at the official. They felt like they had broken the huddle without that situation, but that does a free 5 there, and so
first down.
Knights with a fresh set of downs at the Rome 42. Here's Amir Morrison, tries to go outside then inside, but nothing there.
And Telmo got wrapped up there. I'm not sure if he's going to. He's good. Wow, that was one of those. Didn't mean to cut you off there, Dave, but it looked real bad. But Telmo Uturde, who was famous if you will, against Barstool Sports for body slamming number 5 against Cambridge. Made it on national news for the body slam that he was able to bring down the senior tackle opposite of Cal Began. And did a good job there, but got wrapped up a little bit. And luckily for him, he's okay and back on the field.
So here's 2nd down and 10. Once again, Latham winds up. He's got Jackson Head again at the 15-yard line. And shoved out of bounds right at the 13. And out of bounds to the near side once again. One-on-one coverage. Latham puts the ball in a perfect spot where only Jackson Head can go up and get it. And he used that body to shield the defender, and he is 2 for 2 on one-on-one deep balls.
Dave, I'm not sure that they watched enough tape and realized this guy is the leading receiver for this team. They look like they're just confused by this.
A 1st down and 10. Once again, River Ridge quickly up to the ball. Here's Amir Morrison going to break a tackle into the end zone. A flag is down, though, back at the 18. This one may very well be coming back. If it stands, it is a...
Well, it was thrown by the umpire is the only bad news there. Yeah, that's right where the River Ridge offensive line is.
Well, Coach Collins and the River Ridge sideline slapping, so they think this is against Rome.
Let's see.
And they're waving, the River Ridge coaches are waving the PAT unit onto the field, saying, oh, it's against Rome.
Well, hold on, we're going to have a meeting. Coach Collins, see if they want to decline it, I'm sure. So let's see the call here. Touchdown is
touchdown.
Good. All right. So the clipping? Is that what that's the call? Tripping, whatever it is?
Yeah, how about that? So they're gonna penalize that on the kickoff, and you don't see that a lot defensively there, but I'm not sure. Maybe a couple of guys try to take out one of the offensive linemen there. Kind of like a chop block, but the defensive version there is what the call looked like. So it's a 13-yard touchdown run for Amir Morrison, who has his 26th rushing touchdown of the year. And the PAT is right through there, and the Knights are 2 for 2 in that department. So with 1:23 remaining here in the opening quarter, the Knights have jumped out to a 2-touchdown lead. They lead at 14-0 on the Sutherland Nissan scoreboard. 30 seconds and back with more. You're listening to North Georgia's 101.1 FM, WLJA.
Are you looking for a great deal on a new set of tires, brake service, an oil change, or alignment?
Need a gift certificate for someone on your list?
Well, then come on in to Canton Tire and Will and let our guys take care of your vehicle.
We're certain that you'll be pleased with our service.
Call Canton Tire and Will today at 770-479-6556.
From our family to yours, have a safe holiday season and a very Merry Christmas.
A minute 23 remaining here in the opening quarter, and the River Ridge Knights are out to a fast start, 14-0 on the Sutherland Nissan scoreboard. Dave Garner alongside Will Cooper, Ronnie on the spot with us as well. And again, we're still a good little ways away from the Foundation Financial halftime show. But wow, I mean, who would have thought River Ridge would have come out? 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
And not only that, but a 3-and-out to start on defensive. And after the personal foul against Rome there on the last play, Scotty Rutherford will get to, or excuse me, yeah, I believe that is Scotty Rutherford, number 24. He'll get to tee it up from the 45-yard line of Rome. Wonder if you try an onside kick right here, Dave.
Well, you never
plus
know
territory.
With their defense being the way it is, and you're right, you don't really give up a whole lot of yardage by just trying to onside kick. You don't get it, and they got the ball maybe at the 30-yard line, but they are going to do it. How about that? The ball bounces down, it's loose, and the Knights have it. The Knights have it at the 33-yard line.
Oh, my goodness.
Boy, you could see that one coming a mile away, couldn't you?
Dave Garner, do you believe what you are seeing right now? The River Ridge Knights will take over. By the way, that's not your typical onside kick where you're on the opposite end of the field. No. River Ridge will take over at 38-yard line. So they are already back in scoring position. This crowd right now.
Well, Rutherford with the onside kick, and he hit it straight forward.
Did a great job with it. Took a bounce right off the shin of whoever the up back was there, and was not good enough.
You got those big linemen there on the front row. They're not known for their hands, so they could not secure it. And now here's a little razzle-dazzle reverse play right here. Going to throw it back to Latham. Makes the grab. 20, 15, pushed out of bounds at the 8-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for the River Ridge Knights, and everything working for the boys in Navy.
You know, when you very similar to that play we saw them against Creekview win, and then Kennesaw Mountain tried it against them to win the game last week. It got blown up in the backfield for them, and it moves them to 1st and goal at the 7-yard line. River Ridge knocking on the door. Rome already has a guy here. If River Ridge was able to snap it, they would get him with an offsides, but they don't get it off in time.
Hurry up once again. Amir Morrison into the middle. He'll walk it in. 7-yard touchdown run by Amir Morrison, who has his second of the game. That's 27 on the year, and his second within a minute or less. He scored 2 rushing touchdowns now in the span of about 15 seconds.
Wow.
And the River Ridge Knights, just like that.
Just like that.
A PAT away from making it a 21-0 ball game here. And I think they got tired of everyone talking about last week's, eking out an overtime win as the region champ. They have come out here motivated tonight, and everything is going right.
You aren't kidding about that, playing as a unit.
So here's Rutherford trying to stay perfect on PATs, and he will do so. And with 1:08 left here, still in the opening quarter, the River Ridge Knights have scored 3 times to take a 21-0 lead on the Sutherland Nissan scoreboard. We'll keep the action right here for you. But Cooper, man, I tell you what, I'm about speechless.
Oh, boy, I am speechless, I tell you.
And that's a first.
Wow. Yeah, you aren't kidding about that, partner. I mean, my goodness, 21-0, 1 minute and 8 seconds left to go in the first. And this River Ridge sideline just looks like they belong. They look calm, cool, collected. Wow. We talk about it a lot. We felt like River Ridge would have to come out to a fast start. They've done a good job in the second half of adjusting. But now it's going to be Rome's going to have to figure out how to do it moving forward. And I tell you, very impressed here. We'll get to Ronnie on the spot with the stats after this kickoff here. We didn't get to do it last time, so we'll ask you about those as well if you've got those handy. And because the onside kick came and went so quickly, so we'll get you 2 drive summaries here as they scored. I mean, in what was it, 15 seconds?
Yeah.
It was 123 and then 108, so 15 seconds in between scores here.
So a little Philly special back to Carson Latham. Here's a pooch kick right here. They're going to keep it away from Lackey, who stands deep. Going to be picked up at the 23-yard line by the upback, and he is met.
Hunter Coleman.
Yeah, face mask full of Mr. Hunter Coleman, the junior, down on special teams, making a big hit.
There's going to be a personal foul against number 66 of Rome.
Yeah, there was a penalty marker thrown up at the 40, and I think you're right. So this will move Rome back inside their own 20, if it is indeed.
I believe so. It looked like there was a little bit of the River Ridge player was on the ground, and he kind of ran by. It didn't look too egregious to me. He just kind of ran by and moved it forward. And anyway, he was on the ground, and he kept pushing him down to the ground, wouldn't let him get back up. Now, like I said, it didn't look like it was malicious or anything, but that's where the flag was thrown, was right there. So let's wait for the call from the White Hat, and it is against River Ridge. So let's see. It was a personal foul against River Ridge, not against Rome.
Okay. So that'll help out the Wolves tremendously. That'll move the ball out across their 40 up to their 42. So they'll have excellent starting field position here. Really, for the first time tonight, they've been shell-shocked. They've only ran a handful of plays.
Yeah.
So here we go. 1st down and 10. Lackey in the backfield. Once again, that's Reese Fountain, the freshman quarterback. Takes the shotgun snap, hands it straight ahead. Lackey's got some running room. Watch out. Midfield into River Ridge territory inside the 45, and he will have the 41-yard line. So a big 1st down run, and really the first positive thing to happen here so far in this opening quarter for the Wolves.
Yeah, first tackle for Connor Gross, as we mentioned. That was the first time that we had seen him carry the football. First time we'd called Connor Gross's name, the safety, after Brian Bradley made the first 3 tackles.
24 points a ball game for the Rome offense, and they'll keep it on the ground once again to Lackey, who breaks a tackle off the right side, goes far sideline, and then he's finally shoved back, but forward progress will give him the 38. So gain of 4 on 1st down makes it 2nd and 6 as we go inside 30 seconds of this opening quarter.
See if they try and run one more play here. Might be content to go to the first quarter here, have a little extended meeting with your team. They're not in any hurry, it doesn't look like.
Might be the final play of the quarter right here.
Right.
That's Fountain again out of the shotgun, looking to throw the football. Pump fake, no one open. Now he's looking downfield. He's just going to have to tuck it and get out of bounds, and will do so right with a 2nd on the clock.
There's actually a loss of 1 on the carry.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think he got pushed out. Liam Bruton was over there to make sure he went out of bounds, and he lost a yard. So
yeah, Liam Bruton, senior, 91 tackles, 7 tackles for loss, make it 8, and 2 sacks on the season.
So the final play, barring a penalty of this first quarter, and it's been a nightmare first quarter for the Rome Wolves, who can't get this one over quick enough. It's the River Ridge Knights who lead at 21-0. And Rome will have one final snap here in this first quarter. They're moving right to left as the wind picks up. And Fountain steps up. He's going to take a shot down the field one-on-one, and that one is going to be in and out of the hands of the intended target, 2 yards deep in the end zone, and they were trying to find I believe that was number 5 there, Jaquavius Wise, the senior.
Yeah, you're right.
But a good play by River Ridge there in the back end of that defense to get a hand on it to break it up, and that is the end of the first quarter.
You got it.
So we'll step aside and take a break. 30 seconds and then back with quarter 2. We'll get some stats and numbers for you coming up. Stay with us. It's round 2 of the GHSA State Playoffs. You're listening to the Cherokee County Game of the Week on North Georgia's 101.1 FM WLJA.
When you are the official sponsor of the comeback, adding a few feet to a drive matters.
First down.
So does shaving a tenth of a second off a lap. Top-rated surgery, physical therapy, and motion analysis by the sports medicine team at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta helps young athletes not only prevent injuries, but heal faster and return stronger, ready to win. Our more than 25 orthopedic and sports medicine locations are ready to assist your athlete's comeback. To learn more, visit choa.org/sportsmed.
You're listening to WLJA FM 101.1 and WLJA HD1 LJ, Woodstock, Jasper, Canton, and all of North Georgia.
28 yards, 5 rushes for 22, 1 of 2 passing for 6. They had 1 penalty for 5 yards and possessed the ball for 3 minutes and 1 second. River Ridge, 26 plays for 199 yards. 15 runs for 80 yards on the ground, 6 of 10 passing for 119, 7 first downs, 3 penalties for 18 yards, and 8:59 time of possession.
And in case you were wondering, a score of 21-0 in favor of the Knights. Thank you, Ronnie, on the spot, doing a fantastic job.
4th down right here. Rome goes for it. They're going to throw a pass from the River Ridge 38, and they've got it. It is complete to Marcavius Wise, who they went to on the play before, incomplete into the end zone. This time they throw it a little bit shorter, and, you're down 21 here, so not surprised by the play call here to see Rome go for it.
Yeah, well, the thing is that if you're Rome, don't try and hit the home run ball right away, right? It's 21 points. It's not an insurmountable lead. You've got 3 more quarters to do it. And if you're River Ridge, don't get discouraged if they score here. Keep everything in front of you. Make them earn it.
And this time they go straight ahead to Lackey, who has his number called again, and he's got a big chunk of yardage in the middle of the field. Down to the 20-yard line. It'll be a yard shy of a first down. After a gain of 9 as we open up this second quarter, Dave Garner alongside Will Cooper. And, of course, we're without Vaughn Brown tonight.
Thankfully.
And also Art Mosley.
Not as thankfully.
We do. We hopefully, maybe we'll have a game, next week. I mean, if
possibly.
the Knights win tonight, they'll be here next week, presumably against Lee County. We'll try to keep our eye on that one as well. But long way still to go here. A little bobbled snap, though, and, boy, they just had to get that ball out of there. Big pressure, and Reese Fountain, the freshman, took a big shot, and he's a little slow to get up.
Hey, you know who delivered that shot?
Is that Bradley?
Brian Bradley.
Guess who?
Guess who's back?
Well, we talked about it, a huge line last week for Brian Bradley, 19 total tackles, 6 tackles for a loss and a sack, and he was in the face there of Reese Fountain, the freshman, who, of course, had a little play action right there, and as soon as he turned around, he had a face full of Bradley and just had to get rid of that ball and throw it away. So it's 3rd down and a yard now. This time they'll keep it on the ground. Lackey breaks the tackle, 10, tripped up inside the 10-yard line, and the ball will be right at the 7 is where they're going to say his knee went down. It'll be 1st and goal for the first time tonight for Rome, and now they go no huddle.
Lee County up 14-0 over Brunswick in the first quarter.
So there you go. Lackey on the ground right here, trying to bust into the middle, driving towards that end zone. He's going to be about a yard or 2 shy. Late flag on the far side as well. Maybe a little extracurricular activity. And the only question now is who's it on.
E.J. Lackey comes up without his helmet, so he will have to come off for the play here. And if it's against River Ridge, it's not that big of a deal. Aside from the automatic first down, you're going to give up a yard, half the distance to the goal. If it's against Rome, it's a huge deal. We couldn't really see over on that far end there.
Yeah, it's going to be a personal foul on the night. So
that's one thing you'd like to see them clean up. That's their second personal foul, although it only equates to 1 yard. But it is an automatic first down with the personal foul. So reset the down.
Well, you got to be physical against a team like Rome, and now they're going to bring in a full house backfield right here with Lackey, the centerpiece. They're going to hand it to him left side, 2 blockers, and he will dive into the end zone for the touchdown. And the Rome Wolves are in for the first time tonight, 10:37 here in the second quarter. And that erases a 21-0 deficit, and it'll be 21-6 pending the PAT here as the Wolves woke up here at the end of this first quarter and started the second.
Well, if you're River Ridge, you weren't to shut them out, and you know that. But look up at the board and realize you're still at 14 points. The offense has had no signs of slowing down, so go back out there and do what you do.
The extra point right here is...
And a flag comes in at the end there. I believe Micah Martineau might have made contact with the kicker.
Yeah, Fernando Lopez Romero, the senior, boots it through. And they will put that penalty on the kickoff there. So the Rome Wolves promptly answer. And they still trail here, 21-7. And they've got 21-8 on the scoreboard for some reason. But
that is incorrect.
There we go.
There we go.
Took the extra point away there. So it is 21-7 on the Sutherland Nissan scoreboard. We'll keep the action right here for you. About a minute and a half here into the second quarter, and a lot of scoring. 28 combined points so far here in this first half.
Ronnie, you got some first drive stat there for us?
Yeah, the scoring drive was 10 plays, 58 yards, 7 rushes for 49 yards, 1 of 3 passing for 9 yards, 2 penalties for 16 yards, both personal fouls, but one of them was only 1 yard, and a 1-yard touchdown run.
All right. Yeah, I think E.J. Lackey there was the big part of their offensive plan. Obviously, if you've got them, use them. And that's what you expect the River Ridge Knights to do when they come back out here is if you got them, use them, and that's what we expect with Amir Morrison.
Yeah.
Now, here it begs the question. After the personal foul, Rome will kick off from the River Ridge 45. So they are going to put their hands team out now.
Well, I think River Ridge looks a little bit more prepared for this.
I see Jackson Head. I see Riley Canes, Scotty Rutherford. So, yeah, I do see some wide receivers out there on the front side of this at least.
That was E.J. Lackey's 10th touchdown of the year. It is an onside kick. It's on the ground, but the Knights fall on it at the 32. The first man to make contact did secure it, but the second level did before the Wolves were able to get down there. And so River Ridge obviously was ready for that one.
Aiden Bruton wasn't able to field it cleanly, but his brother Liam came up and backed him up from the backside there and fell on that one.
So brotherly love.
They'll take over at the 32.
So 10:35 to play here in the first half. Not getting any warmer out here, folks. It's still whipping around out here in the wind, and, of course, the temperature's dropping as we knew they would. But, nonetheless, it's been a hot start for the River Ridge Knights, who lead at 21-7 as they go back on offense. Carson Latham on the ground. Morrison right side. Nothing happening that time, though. A 2-yard loss. And, you know, this Wolf team, well, I tell you what, they're really getting upfield. The defensive line is getting some good penetration there, and they've had a couple negative plays on this River Ridge Knights offense here in the first half.
Yeah, if you're River Ridge, I like the bunch formation more to the near side. Try and air the ball out a little bit more on first down. You're being a little predictable here, but it's easy for me to say watching the game and not actually doing it.
Morrison out of the backfield. They're going to swing it to him. One man to beat, makes a guy miss. 35-40, stays on his feet, midfield, still going.
Wow.
Makes another man miss. 40, and down to the 36 of Rome. When we talk about Amir Morrison, he's over 1,000 yards, but he's also caught the ball out of the backfield well this year. 19 receptions for 199 yards. That one is 20th reception of the year, now well over 200 yards, 10.5 a catch, and boy, did a lot more than that right there. 43-yard gain.
Now, I'm sorry, but what college looks at his film and doesn't say, I want him to be a part of my team? I mean, it's just a head-scratcher, man. This guy is electric. He's been doing it for years, and he's only a junior. And let's see, did Rome take a timeout here?
Yeah, they did.
Yes, they did. So that's their second time out here. So they only have one left in the half.
And they burned both of them on defense.
Yes.
You know, which is where now if you're Larry Prather, you know, he tells you want to save those timeouts for defense. So, I mean, you know, they're doing it right, but they've got to find a way. Rome talking about try to slow this River Ridge offense. This is as explosive as I've seen the Knights offense all year.
You know, it's very reminiscent of this game against Etowah. That was their you know, after going 2-0, they opened up beating Lassiter 49-21. We said, okay, they can score. Then they beat Woodstock 22-17. Said, okay, you know, they can play tight games. And they came against Etowah, and we said, you know, Etowah trying to figure things out, but they have a lot of talent. And they came in and beat them 38-7. And the only points that they gave up to Etowah was a strip from Amir Morrison to end the half, and then he came out and ran all over them in the second half. And I think we're kind of seeing a mad Amir Morrison here.
Here's Andrew Bingham with the carry. This time a little misdirection play, picks up maybe a yard forward progress. Not much there, though, as the Wolves shut the door. You talked about close games, Will. River Ridge has played 5 one-possession games this year, including 2 overtimes. And so, again, very battle-tested. They've won them all. You got to like their chances in a close ball game.
You do, and you feel like they're very calm with what they do. They always have been. We talked about that against the Creekview game, and they're just very calm right now. Don't seem very too over optimistic, and they don't seem pessimistic either.
Bingham again on the ground, but he's wrapped up right at the point of handoff. And that's going to be a loss of maybe a yard, maybe even 2 yards. So another third down and long. Now on the opening drive, again, River Ridge overcame a 3rd and 11 and a 3rd and 9. And they've even converted on a 4th and 9 for a touchdown here tonight. So another 3rd and long right here from the Rome 38-yard line. This may be 4-down territory even if they don't get it right here.
Ronnie, on the spot, what is River Ridge doing passing right now? What's their completions to attempts?
You caught me off guard.
Uh-oh.
We'll come back
We'll
to
get that
one.
number to you because I'm just a little wondering about that because they've had success throwing as they do it again.
3rd and 11 right here. They take a shot down the
And
field, and there's going to be pass interference. Once again, Jackson Head one-on-one over there on the far sideline with Martell Height this time.
Yeah.
And Height was all over him. And, if I'm Rome, you got to start rolling over some help over there.
Well, that's the thing is Martell was the starting corner against him. Then they moved the safety up, Jaquavius Wise, and then now they're bringing him back to Martell. You might want to put both those guys on him. So it'll be a pass interference. Move those chains. Ronnie, you got that stat for me, partner?
Yes, sir. They are 7 for 11 for 162 yards.
I don't know about you, but I kind of like the idea of them passing a little bit more.
Well, I tell you what, especially in the direction of Jackson Head, who's had his way tonight, targeted 3 times. And he has 2 catches, including a touchdown, and then drew the pass interference call right there. So a first down for the Knights.
And they'll get another free 5 first yards.
Yep, one of the Rome Wolves into the neutral zone right there. So 1st and 5, it'll be from inside the 20 as the Knights move into the Woodstock Outlet red zone here tonight. Again, while the Knights are driving down the field, you drive down to Woodstock Outlet. Check out all the great deals on furniture.
Beautiful segue, David. Yeah, for me, Rome looks like the inexperienced team, and they're young. They're very young. Let's give credit where credit's due. They have a lot of sophomores on that defensive line that jumped.
So here we go, Amir Morrison with the handoff this time, drugged down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, but it'll be 2nd down and 5 as the clock goes inside 8.5 minutes. And here in this first half, again, River Ridge still leads it 21-7 on the Sutherland Nissan scoreboard, and looking for more right here as they look to get back that 7 they just gave up on the last drive.
Yeah, Alto Moore, the freshman, 6'1", 200-pound linebacker, came in. 58 tackles coming into this game, 4 tackles for loss and a sack for him. 46th tackle of the year. That'll be a solo.
This time Jackson Head up top. Little play action pass right here. Going to throw it back to Morrison out of the backfield. He's got room to run. 20, 10, 5. Working his way towards the goal line. Will be stacked up right at the 2-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for the River Ridge Knights. Once again, a well-designed, well-executed play call that time as Rome's defense over-pursued, and they threw it back to Amir Morrison out of the backfield, who had a big running lane.
Now, I'm going to make a comparison that's going to shock you, Dave. You know who he reminds me of catching balls out of the backfield like that? LaDainian Tomlinson. He looks just like him when he catches it that way.
So 1st down and goal right here. And straight ahead, this is Andrew
Bingham.
Bingham on the left side, and he's going to break the plane. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Knights.
Wow.
So with 7:20 remaining here before the Foundation Financial halftime show, the River Ridge Knights go up 27-7, pinning the PAT from Scotty Rutherford as they look to make it 28-7 here in this second quarter. Wow. They've got the polecat formation. They'll shift everybody back over now.
I believe Carson Latham's the holder for them, which, teams like that tend to do that. Jackson Head also on one end of it. Riley Kane's on the other end of the protection side. And then Scotty Rutherford, a great talent. Kicking, safety, does it all.
Gives your opponent something else to have to prepare for as Rutherford knocks through the PAT. Perfect tonight, 4 for 4. And with 7:20 to play here in the second quarter, it's River Ridge 28-7 over Rome on the Sutherland Nissan scoreboard. We'll take a 30-second timeout and be right back. It's round 2, and it's going River Ridge's way. We'll be right back here. You're listening to North Georgia's 101.1 FM WLJA.
It's football time, and Brian Aaron at Woodstock Outlet has some great news for all the football fans.
Hey, y'all, we are glad to be a sponsor for these games and have a great time. Stay safe out there, and we just really do love being part of our community. And thankful we got the best customers a business could possibly have. And we built a new warehouse. We got it full for the pickup or delivery, so we're ready to go. Y'all come see us, and we sure do appreciate you.
The overrated chants have broken out here at the Ridge, if you can believe that.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what. I mean, we didn't expect this. I mean, we knew River Ridge was good. I mean,
Yes.
obviously,
10-0.
We just expect a little bit more out of Rome because of their pedigree, but so far it's been all Knights, 28-7.
Well, this is a perfect example of why you can't take it week to week.
Rutherford will put his foot into it. Short kick once again to the up back at the 22-yard line. Again,
that's Martell Height.
Yep, Height with the return there goes back into the middle. They were trying to set up a wall, but he couldn't get there. Got it to the 32.
Ronnie, you got those that drive summary for us, partner?
7 plays, 68 yards. Unlike anything we've seen from River Ridge this year, 5 rushes for -1.
Wow.
But 2 of 2 passing for 49 yards, all to Amir Morris, and a big 20 yards of penalties that time on Rome.
Dang.
So it's
That'll do it.
Yeah, and it's sometimes Rome coming in is going to be keen in on number 5, as everyone does. But the passing game has been there tonight, and that's been the big thing. Lackey up the middle this time, not much there though at all. Nice job once again by that River Ridge. And we talked about defense coming in, Will, and how important it was going to be to slow this Rome team down. Rome got back on track that last drive and scored, but now the Knights got to try to answer.
Well, the thing I like about River Ridge's team, and I said this, aside from Brian Bradley, there's nobody out there that is a star, but everybody is good. There's no weak spot with them, and everybody does their job well, rally to the ball, tackle, and they do a great job as a defensive unit.
Going to throw one out right here, complete far sideline. They get up to the 40-yard line. The pass there again by Reese Fountain. And the catch was Jaquavius Wise, who has his second grab here this first half, but is going to be just shy of a first down. So 3rd down and a yard here at the 41.
And got whistles. They're checking out Reese's helmet. Or maybe it was Lackey's helmet, I believe. Excuse me.
Well, you'd have to expect that they'll give this one to Lackey right here, needing just a yard. But let's see here as Reese Fountain goes out of the gun. And they will hand it to Lackey, and he's got the first down, spins off a tackler on the far sideline, and then dives up to the 50-yard line, and that's right where the ball will be placed. Maybe a yard shy there, but good enough for the first down.
Yeah, and I tell you, the interesting about Rome so far is that they haven't had a lot of success passing. It's been on the ground, which if you're River Ridge and you're playing with a 2 to 3 possession lead, hey, if you want to run the football and that's how you have to beat us, go ahead.
Last week, Reese Fountain, 14 of 17, very efficient, 206 yards and 2 touchdowns against Hampton Central. And round 1, here's Lackey again on the ground. Nothing doing this time, though. A nice job by the Knights defense. C.J. Lackey last week, 184 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. Had a 68-yard touchdown run on the first play, but a much different story here tonight.
Yeah, huge difference. And a good job there by Brian Bradley. Once again, coming up, rallying to the football, tackling him right at the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 10. I tell you, man, Brian Bradley is earning his weight in gold right now.
Bradley, as we talked about with that huge game last week, as the wind picks up, 2nd and 10. Throwing a pass over the middle, in and out of the hands. They were trying to get it to Martavius Collins, the freshman wide receiver, but it was a little bit of a low ball over the middle. If he makes the grab, it's a first down, but instead it's 3rd and 10.
Well, it's Scotty Rutherford who makes the play there. Outstretched hands, and as the ball just hits off his fingertips, he introduces himself to Scotty Rutherford, senior, 5'10", 175 pounds. Martavius Collins, the freshman, 6'2", 208, tight end, who's really a receiver. 23 receptions, 304 yards, and 2 tubs coming into this one.
River Ridge defense, 16 sacks on the year. They need one right here. 3rd down and 10. Rome will snap it from their own 48-yard line. They've got Lackey in the backfield, twins to the near side and to the left, up top. And now they're going to step up, and Bradley is going to bring them down.
My goodness.
Shy line of scrimmage. They may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but we'll give Bradley a sack anyway on that one. It's 4th down, and now Rome will trot the punt team on.
I mean, what else can you say about this guy, right? I mean, you don't want to call a guy's name too much, but he's making every tackle and every play out there.
Here's the punt. Martineau back deep, and he's not going to signal a fair catch. He's going to take it on the run. At the 27, he'll pick up about 3 yards before he's tackled at the 30, and so the Knights will have it. 4:46 to play here with all 3 timeouts before the half, and a 28-7 lead on the Sutherland Nissan scoreboard.
Now, if I'm River Ridge, I'd like to see him try and burn as much of that clock off as possible. Touchdown if necessary, but if you can kick a field goal, go up by an extra possession here, and try and make it count before you go into the locker room and enjoy the warmth for a minute, my friend, because there's not a lot to adjust to. Maybe if there's one thing you could point out, let's not commit so many personal fouls. Let's clean that up, and let's try and stop them in the running game and start ours up a little bit. But, you'd like to see him have an extended play here and keep that Rome offense on the sideline.
Carson Latham hands. Morrison was met in the backfield right at the point of handoff there. And again, that was a big loss there of about 5 yards. And very lucky that ball didn't hit the ground.
Man, I tell you, and I believe that was number 10 coming up. 18, excuse me. Doing a great job coming up and playing the ball there for Rome.
Big penetration.
Jamian Leith, senior 5'10", 165-pound safety coming up and making the hit there. He's got 8 tackles for loss. That'll be 9, and it was a huge loss there. Like I mentioned, you're going to have some negative plays against Rome, but try and minimize those to a couple yards.
2nd and 15. They're going to hand it to Morrison again, but nothing doing here. Another loss for 3-4 more yards there. So
it was Bryant Wilkinson on the outside, 6'3", 240 defensive end, 57 tackles, 16 for loss, and 9 sacks. Been pretty quiet today, but did a good job getting outside there, and that was plenty enough to push them even further back. So 3rd and 16 here.
Yeah, all of a sudden a big hole right here for an offense averaging 373 yards a game, 228 of that coming on the ground. 31 rushing touchdowns, 13 receiving touchdowns for River Ridge this year, but they obviously need a big play right here to extend this drive. Long pass to the corner and going to be short of the first down. They got it out to Andrew Bingham. It was a nice play, a pickup of about 14, 15 yards, maybe even 16 up across the 35, but it's going to be 4th and 4. And I don't think they're going to go for this one right here on their own end.
I would not. But that, you got what you wanted. You gained most of that yardage back, so you're not in nearly as bad of a position. You can get a good punt here from Scotty Rutherford. I believe he is also the punter for the team. So if that's the case, then try and get a good punt from Scotty. He's averaging about 35 yards a punt, and he'll flip it around and try and do that. But let's see. They're going to do some trickeration here.
Yeah, goes under center there, calls a count, tries to get him to jump. They didn't, so now he'll drop back into punt formation, and now Rome will
Martell, I believe.
Back. Yeah, that's Martell Height. Good snap. Kicks it out of there. Oh, boy, this is a boomer.
Great kick.
This is almost over the head of Height, who falls to the ground backwards. That was a dangerous catch.
Wow.
At the 19-yard line is where Rome will have it, and had the wind at his – maybe it seems like it's a crosswind right now.
Yeah.
But had a little bit of a wind at his back right there, and, boy, he took advantage of it.
A 55-yard punt. That's his new best by 8 yards on the season. My goodness. You talking about everything going right for River Ridge, right? Oh, man, they had to punt. No. They just kicked it 55 yards, and Rome is all the way backed up inside their 20. My goodness. If you're River Ridge, I don't know what you River Ridge fans are out there, if you're doing some weird voodoo dances or what's going on right now, but keep doing it because it's working.
2:44 left here before the half. 28-7. River Ridge leads Rome in round 2 of the GHSA State Playoffs. The Wolves do have one timeout left as they go back to work. Lackey on the ground and 4 or 5 yards there over the right side. Again, Rome's offense, 331 yards a game, 176 rushing, 155 passing per ball game, 36 total touchdowns, 21 on the ground, 13 through the air. So we talked about this River Ridge defense allowing just 18.2 points a ball game, and so far they've played about as well as you could have asked, minus that one drive where Rome was able to go down and get the touchdown.
An important thing to note real quick is that Rome did defer, so they'll get the kickoff back in the second half.
Here is Reese Fountain, going to throw one in the middle there. Lackey, though, a little screen going nowhere. Everyone was all over that one. And
Brandon Dye came up and made the tackle. Brian Bradley fell on him just to make sure.
Nice sniff that one out. As we go inside 2 minutes here, it'll be 3rd down and 4. This is a big play right here. Now, if River Ridge makes a stop, I would expect they've got all 3 timeouts.
Take a timeout, try and get it back. I agree.
So here we go. Fountain again, the freshman quarterback, has had a tough first half. He's
hasn't done much.
A lot.
I think he only has 1 completion for 9 yards on the game.
And the play comes in from the sideline. The play clock inside 10 seconds. They don't have a whole lot of time here.
They don't.
Out of the gun. Trips to the near side. Going to keep it on the ground. And Lackey, he breaks the tackle. Wow. Well, they had him in the backfield wrapped up, and somehow or another E.J. Lackey was able to break out of it and pick up the first down.
Yeah, that's just really good running by E.J. Lackey. They had him stop dead to rights. I believe that was Hunter Coleman who had him around the ankles, and he just kept running. Keep those big legs churning. 5'10", 187 pounds for Lackey. You don't get to be a 1,000-yard rusher for no reason. Proved it there, first down.
Well, they do have the one timeout, but the clock is down to minute 6, and they will keep it on the ground right here.
Oh, wow.
Not much, though, at all. That was Sean Nelson, the freshman, running back with the carry there. He only picked up a couple, and that clock's still running now inside a minute.
Brandon Dye came up and hit him right at the line, kept him short for a gain of 2 there. Really big play by Brandon, because if it wasn't for that, there was a lot of green grass behind him.
You think the Wolves would have to take a shot downfield here now to get some yardage. 43 seconds left. Fountain steps up in the pocket. Now he's going to run. Chased out of the pocket. He will be run out of bounds, but not before he picks up the first down. A scramble of about 8-10 yards or so up to the 45. They'll give him the 47. Liam Bruton pushed him out of bounds over on the far side. 35 seconds left here in the half. 28-7 River Ridge, but Rome on the move. Trying to make something happen right here before the half. They only have one timeout left.
Yeah, in 35 seconds, they're going to have to get away from the running game a little bit, which is something River Ridge, they've done really good in pass coverage so far. So see if they can continue that. Watch the matchup on the bottom. You got Jaquavius Wise matched up against Martineau at the very bottom there, one-on-one.
Big offensive line right here. Rome snaps it from their 46. Trying to get it out of there. They'll throw it out of the backfield. Lackey, but well played by the Knights. Only a gain of 4 up to the 49, and now Rome is forced to burn their final timeout with 26 seconds left.
Huge play by both the safeties. Scotty Rutherford came up and made the tackle. Connor Gross was right behind him if he wasn't able to do it. Really, really, really impressed with this River Ridge team. Like we mentioned, man, there's not a lot of stars, but there's nowhere on this lineup card that you go, oh, man, he couldn't be a starter anywhere else. No. These guys could be a starter anywhere they want to be, and they do a fantastic job as a unit. Obviously, Brian Bradley is going to draw a lot of attention with his frame and his size because he is 6'3", 210, could easily be 240 or 250 when he gets into a college weight room, but right now he is just absolutely dominating this game. But outside of that, these corners, we haven't mentioned their name because they've been doing a fantastic job. You know that. If you're a corner, if you don't get your name called, that's great. That means you're doing your job. So for both those guys, really proud of them. And like I mentioned, the safeties coming up, rallying to the football, making the tackles. The Bruton brothers at linebacker, and then Hunter DeRizo, the other linebacker, haven't called his name yet tonight, but that's okay. They're running away from him, which is a lot of respect to him and Brian Bradley as they both play behind each other.
Yeah, both these teams doing a lot of no huddle, so we haven't had a lot of time in between plays to
talk about it.
These guys, to be honest with you right here. But, again,
Foundation Financial Halftime Show, we'll have a lot to talk about.
Absolutely, and it's in 26 seconds. But first, a 2nd and 7. Rome just burned their final timeout. Going to throw a pass right here, and they will keep the receiver. That's Martavius Collins, the freshman, inbounds. It will stop the clock because of the first down of the River Ridge 39. But once they spot that ball, they'll start the clock, and they will do it. And they will just spike it right here. Reese Fountain throws it into the turf to stop the clock with 15.7 seconds left. Have the ball, as we said, at the Knight 39, but still a good little ways from pay dirt right here. And if you're River Ridge, you got to feel like, maybe play a little bit deep, keep everything underneath right here, because if they do, time's going to expire at some point.
Well, that's what Chase Usher was doing there. He's playing the bailout technique, just left as soon as with the receiver, didn't try and press him or anything like that, and did a good job, rallied to the football, made the tackle where it needed to be made. In open field. Chase Usher's a guy we haven't mentioned, but he's a really good corner. Only has 18 tackles on the season, but that's because they don't throw his way. So that'll be his 19th of the season.
Here's Reese Fountain. He's under pressure, thrown back near side of screen there to Lackey, makes the guy miss, crashes violently into the 30-yard line after a gain of 9.
He didn't get it. It's going to be the end of the quarter, Dave.
Yeah, he did not get the first down, and that is going to do it. The clock is going to expire. What a collision. At the 30-yard line to keep that clock moving, and the first 24 minutes are in the book here at the Ridge, and it's all home team. 28-7 on the Sutherland Nissan scoreboard as the teams retreat to the locker room to catch their breath and get a little bit of heat. Meanwhile, we'll stay with you on the other side of a 2-minute break. We'll have the Foundation Financial Halftime Show for you. Stay with us. Our live coverage of Round 2 of the GHSA State Playoffs continues right here live and only on North Georgia's 101.1 FM WLJA.
At Foundation Financial Insurance and Wealth Management, we believe that your insurance protection and wealth management plan go hand in hand. We start by shopping your insurance with highly rated companies to find you the best combination of price and protection. With that plan in place, we can then work with you to develop a tailored financial plan. Whether you need to save money on insurance or you need a full financial plan, call us at 678-880-9571 or come by 670 East Main Street in Canton for a no-obligation consultation today. Securities and advisory services offered through Packer Land Brokerage Services Incorporated, an unaffiliated entity, member FNIRA and SIPC.
In times of uncertainty, it's nice to know that there's still some things that are certain. Hi, I'm Dave Garner here, your local Woodman Life representative. I want to make sure that your family is protected with needs-based life insurance through Woodman Life. Life insurance has many benefits. It's not just something that's there when you pass. It's mortgage protection, family savings, debt relief, replacing lost income, and overall peace of mind. Some companies sell it because they have to. We sell it because it's what we do. Call for a free quote today or visit me online, and let's make certain that you're protected from today's uncertainty.
It's football time, and Brian Aaron at Woodstock Outlet has some great news for all the football fans.
Hey, y'all, we are glad to be a sponsor for these games, and have a great time. Stay safe out there, and we just really do love being part of our community, and thankful we got the best customers a business could possibly have. And we built a new warehouse. We got it full for pick up our delivery, so we're ready to go. Y'all come see us, and we sure do appreciate you.
Game on! Football's back, and we're celebrating at the all-new Sutherland Nissan Cherokee County. Get game-winning offers right now. Drive the best-selling 2020 Nissan Rogue, or check out the redesigned 2020 Sentra. If you try it, you'll buy it. They're that good, fun, and affordable. Catch the savings now before they're gone. Only at the all-new Sutherland Nissan Cherokee County, across from the Holly Springs Walmart. Online at NissanNorthAtlanta.com. Remember, if it doesn't say Sutherland, you paid too much.
Welcome into the Foundation Financial Halftime Show. I'm your host, Will Cooper, joined alongside Diamond Dave Garner, the golden voice of the broadcast, and Ronnie on the spot, Ronnie Cooper to the right of me. Big shout out to Ace of Spades Jones back on Master Controls, making us sound so good like he always does. Hey, Dave, I don't know if you knew it, but River Ridge is up in this one, 28-7, my man.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I want to say we're not surprised. We should have expected this from River Ridge, but I got to be honest with you. I mean, if we're just being honest, we're a little surprised. And not that we didn't think that River Ridge could do this, but, you know, you think about Rome and you think about the pedigree that they have, as we talked about in the pregame show here tonight. And, you know, it just for River Ridge to have come out and play the way they did in this first half. It's still plenty of football left to be played, make no mistake. But just a great half of football for the River Ridge Knights. And, you know, it's one of those things where they were able to come up with some explosive plays from guys other than Amir Morrison. You know, we saw Jackson Head. You know, we saw, you know, Riley Canes make a nice catch there that set up a first down. We saw this River Ridge team overcome some third and fourth down, you know, situations, third and long. So just a big first half, and even a 55-yard punt from Scotty Rutherford that flipped the field. So field position certainly big as well.
Well, I mean, you're talking about a team that just can't do anything wrong. By the way, Brunswick only down 7-14 against Lee County. So things could get a little interesting now. Now, listen, River Ridge is going to get to host the home playoff game. Doesn't matter who wins. But you're talking about the difference between number 1 in most rankings against 6A versus Brunswick, who was a 3 seed in their region. That would be a huge difference. And you're talking about if you win that game, then you're advancing much further than, you know, obviously further than River Ridge has. But you're talking about in the history of Cherokee County at that point. You're talking about really going somewhere. So we'll keep an eye on that one for you. Don't want to count chickens before they hatch. Lee County's a really good team, just like Rome's a really good team. But a 21-point lead is a big thing to talk about. But, you know, you're exactly right. You're talking about just something. Nothing went wrong for River Ridge in that one. Nothing. They had personal fouls that went against them. That would be the only thing I would say. The running game wasn't as phenomenal, but when it was third and long, they just found a way to complete it over the middle. The middle of the field's open for the passing. And then Jackson Head, man, just I don't know what else you expect from a guy. 6'3", 205, and he has just dominated this game, mossing anyone who's covering him. Martell hit the safety. Doesn't matter who you want to try and put on him. It's not working right now. I imagine in the locker room they're saying, okay, let's shut out number 13. But the problem is when you forget about guys like Riley Canes and Andrew Bingham, you know, those are two guys that you can't just ride off the table either. So when you draw that over, it's very similar to the old Falcons idea when they had Roddy White, Julio Jones, and Tony Gonzalez. You know, you can double both those guys, but you can't double all three. You're going to run out of personnel, and then you're not going to have the pass rush to get to the quarterback. So you're trying to find the solution there, but you cannot continue to let Jackson Head destroy you over the top, and that's what I would say to them is that, you know, you got to figure out how to shut him down. And then on the offensive side of the ball, they've run the ball great, but they don't have any passing game. They haven't been able to pass the ball efficiently at all. And, you know, the other thing, too, for River Ridge on the offensive side, just thought about this, is Amir Morrison. Yeah. You know, he hasn't run the ball very well, but his receptions in that one drive there where they ended up putting the 28 on the board, that was the big drive for him where he got going out of the backfield.
Yeah, 43-yard reception for Amir Morrison in the first half. 2 rushing touchdowns still to boot. But back to your point, you know, defensively, I mean, you look at this game and you think about, you know, Rome and what they've been able to do offensively all year long. And you know, River Ridge defense has been able to, you know, shut them down for the most part. I mean, Rome had one drive The flip side of that, Jackson Head comes into the game, 17.6 yards of reception. So, obviously he brings the big playability with him. But he was matched up, 3 times one-on-one. They took 3 shots at him, and he had a touchdown, 2 long receptions, 1 for a touchdown, and then he drew the pass interference that set up another score on the 3rd target. And then he's had a couple of other catches as well, over the middle and in traffic. So, again, I think Rome's game plan coming into tonight was obviously we're going to load it up, and we have to stop Amir Morrison. We know we have to do that. Every team knows they have to do that.
Right.
But in doing that, they've basically left Jackson Head one-on-one all night long, and they just have not had an answer for him.
No, you're exactly right. I mean, when you look at the other side of that coin, if you're Rome, they always say you have to build a running game to supplement your passing game. But, that's kind of changed a little bit in the past where you can supplement your passing game and use it as effective as your running game. And those out-of-the-backfield passes are really just running plays where you're giving your running back a full head of steam. That's the thing about Amir is that when he hits top speed and he gets moving laterally, you can't really just bring him down. He's just too hard to do. And we saw that when they threw it out there about midfield. They released him out in the flat there, just that little release pass. Next thing you know, he's making people miss, got a full head of steam, real hard to bring down. That's the thing is you look at him and say 5'7", 150, I don't know about that. Not exactly your big bruising back. You're right. But the thing about him is that when you got these 6'2", 6'3" guys who are trying to tackle him, 5'7" is a lot lower to the ground, and it's a lot harder to wrap up than you think.
Yeah, it really is. Low center of gravity. Amir, has that, and he has the speed and the power for a guy that's not that big. And, you compared him to LaDainian Tomlinson, one of your all-time favorites, catching the pass out of the backfield that set up another touchdown inside the red zone in that second quarter. And you're right. I mean, he has shades of, those kinds of backs, and that just goes to show you that he's not just all rushing. I mean, a guy that can really come in and do a little bit of everything. As we talked about, his 20th, I think he picked up 2 receptions in that first half, 21 now for.
I'll tell you who can tell you. Ronnie on the spot.
I bet he can tell us.
Hey, Ronnie, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing good, man. Can't really believe what's going on here. No, you're not as plugged in as we are. You have an actual real job, and Dave claims to have one, but he doesn't. Trust me. Outside of that, tell us what your interpretation of this first half has been.
Well, look, it's the air game, although Amir still 14 rushes for 56 yards.
Okay, well.
So it's better than you would think. He's averaging 4 yards a rush, 56 yards, but he does have the 2 catches for 49. There's 9 completions for River Ridge in the half for 182 yards. They're averaging 20 yards a completion.
Wow.
And it's just Jackson Head's 3 for 74, so he's just right at 25 yards of reception.
Wow. And you look at it and you think, well, Amir maybe not getting the big running lanes tonight. He's still on pace for a 100-yard night.
That's exactly right.
I mean, that's the thing. So, it's a situation where, Rome was on the field defensively a lot in that first half.
What was their time of possession?
Rome was 9:42. River Ridge 14:18.
Yeah, and you're talking about a lot of that being in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And look, this is Amir Morrison comes in 221 carries, 117. Let me try this one more time. 1,717 yards on the year. So you're talking about a guy who's averaging right around 8-9 yards a carry. And then on the opposite end of that, we're seeing him tonight only averaging about 4. And I say only averaging 4 because compared to what he's normally doing, it's just a little lower than what we expect. But with the numbers there, 14 of 56, that's a good rushing game. And it's being supplemented with Andrew Bingham, who ran it in for a touchdown earlier as well. So it's not just him. And then also a guy that we forget sometimes, as we saw him come out on the field, do a few blocking assignments, Tyler Carter. Junior, 5'9", 180 pounds. He's the backup running back for these guys. He's got 21 carries for 90 yards on the year as well. So you'll see him a time or two if they need him. But Amir Morrison right now really kind of being the transmission that shifts this engine. But right now it's being led by Jackson Head and Carson Latham making things happen.
Yeah, and last week, I know we talk about it, a 1-point overtime victory. River Ridge defensively had to make a stop on a 2-point play to secure the win. But offensively they were right on schedule. 35 points. Amir Morrison $162 and 3 touchdowns. Andrew Bingham had a rushing touchdown. Carson Latham was very efficient, 60% at 12 of 20 for 129 and a touchdown. Riley Caines had a big night as well with a touchdown reception. So, offensively they didn't struggle last week at all. This week they've picked up right where they left off. Defensively, as you tell by the scoreboard, 28-7 has been the big improvement here so far tonight. And look, it's like Mike Collins said earlier in the week or after that game on Friday. It's like, this is the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I don't think he was saying it to deflect the fact that it was a close game, but the point is, it's like everybody's 0-0, and you see a lot of 1s and 4s play tight. You see a lot of games, that maybe you wouldn't think would be as close that end up being pretty close. years. And so last week, you look at that game, and as a casual fan, you look at it and you think, well, dang, maybe River Ridge isn't as good as we thought they were, being the region champ and having to go to overtime against a team that was 4-6 that's making their very first ever playoffs start.
Right.
So you think coming in here tonight, well, Rome obviously is a much better team. We saw them play against Cherokee. We know how good they are.
Mm-hmm.
On paper they should come in and whip this River Ridge team. It's everybody's 0-0 this week. It starts all over again, and so it's a totally different scheme. It's a totally different attitude. It's a totally different game plan each and every week in the playoffs, and we're seeing that play out here tonight, and maybe, hopefully, for River Ridge's sake, we'll see it continue in the second half.
Well, I think the big thing for River Ridge, right, is that if you're a River Ridge fan, be encouraged by the fact you're at halftime, man, because that's the thing is that normally we're looking, like we were here last time we were with River Ridge, they were playing Centennial. 7-7 going into the locker room. We're thinking, man, Creekview game, oh man, they might be on upset alert here. Watch out. Well, they came out and put up 28 points there and just said, no, sit down and watch this. Well, then the backside of that is exactly, if you're a River Ridge fan, look, you're at halftime, and Coach Collins does a great job with his halftime adjustments. I don't know what adjustments he needs to make necessarily, but hopefully, you also have a coach on the other side of this coin who is extremely experienced, as you mentioned, 2 state championships, been all around the state, Tift County. You mentioned he's at Rome now. I believe you said he started in East Paulding.
Yeah. He was at 2 state championships in Tennessee.
Yeah.
So coming to Georgia.
So he's been, and not only has he been around the state, but he's been around the South for a little bit as well. So, with that being said, that he's going to come out and have some different game plans, some different ideas. And Rome's very talented. Like we said, they're a city school, so they're going to have some big guys. That offensive line is huge, but they're extremely, extremely young. You've got a true freshman quarterback, and he looks rattled today. That's one thing is that they've always said he plays with a lot of confidence, 8 touchdowns, no interceptions. You think about it, doing such a good job, but when you turn over the coin on that, he's just looked a little bit rattled so far in this one. And, Ronnie, how many yards do the Rome Wolves have passing in this one?
47. 7 of 11 for 47.
So they have a large completion percentage, but it's really those underneath passes that are completed to Lackey, and they're just kind of getting cut down there. I believe they only have one to Jaquavius Wise that was really kind of an extended pass.
And I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little bit of Caleb Ellard, the senior quarterback, in the second half. I mean, he's a guy that played a lot over the last couple years.
Well, he's also the guy that played against Cherokee before Reese took over the job.
Right, exactly. So, with things playing out, looking at the numbers, I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Reed, he may stick with his guy. But I wouldn't be surprised to see number 11 play a few snaps as well in the second half, so we'll just have to see how that plays out.
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll take our first break of the Foundation Financial Halftime Show. When we come back, we'll break down some of the other scores around the area. We'll take a look at the Fannin County score, if we can get that for you, as well as the other scores we told you we would keep an eye on here for you. 2 minutes and we're back. You're listening to the Foundation Financial Halftime Show on WLJA 101.1 FM.
Are you paying too much for your car or home insurance? At Foundation Financial Insurance and Wealth Management, we represent dozens of highly rated insurance companies. We can help you develop the right protection plan for your family and then search to find you the best combination of price and protection. Call us today at 678-880-9571 or come by and see us at 670 East Main Street in Canton for a free, no-obligation quote on your home, auto, business, or life insurance. Securities and advisory services offered through Packer Land Brokerage Services Incorporated, unaffiliated entity, member FINRA and SIPC.
Are you looking for a great deal on a new set of tires, brake service, an oil change, or alignment?
Need a gift certificate for someone on your list?
Well, then come on in to Canton Tire and Well and let our guys take care of your vehicle.
We're certain that you'll be pleased with our service.
Call Canton Tire and Will today at 770-479-6556.
From our family to yours, have a safe holiday season and a very Merry Christmas.
There's been so much talk about distracted driving, you're probably sick of hearing about it. Well, we'd rather you be sick of hearing about it than lose your life doing it. The caring staff with Sosby Funeral Home in Canton reminds you that we all have to go sometime, but don't rush it. Wait your turn and don't drive distracted. Keep your hands on the wheel, your eyes on the road, and make sure you stay alert and arrive alive. Drive safely and help us protect our teens. They're the only future we've got. Brought to you by Sosby Funeral Home, honoring life from 191 Jarvis Street in Canton.
When you are the official sponsor of the comeback, adding a few feet to a drive matters.
First down.
So does shaving 1/10 of a second off a lap. Top-rated surgery, physical therapy, and motion analysis by the sports medicine team at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta helps young athletes not only prevent injuries, but heal faster and return stronger, ready to win. Our more than 25 orthopedic and sports medicine locations are ready to assist your athlete's comeback. To learn more, visit choa.org/sportsmed.
Welcome back into the Foundation Financial Halftime Show. I'm your host, Will Cooper, joined alongside Dave Garner and Ronnie on the spot. Ronnie Cooper helping us keep stats this evening. It is nice and chilly football weather, if you will. That's what they like to call it. We got some score updates for you. Fannin tied right now, 7-7 over there up in the mountains as they are playing Heard County. Keep your eye on that one, obviously. Sprayberry down 6-32 against Carrollton. Kind of expected that one. Carrollton was the only team in region that beat Rome and forced them to be the second seed. So that's one of Rome's 3 losses was to Carrollton. So a really good team over there, as they're obviously the first seed region champs. And then the last score that we checked for you is for Cherokee fans. I wanted to compare North Gwinnett, West Forsyth, and Cherokee. Maybe a little bit of interest there. North Gwinnett up 10-0 over there. And then the last one, Brunswick and Lee County. 14 for Lee County, 7 for Brunswick at the half. So these, listen, there's a lot of upsets possible. Obviously, Lee County is still the heavy favorite, still up by a touchdown, not putting them on upset alert by any means. But keep your eye on that game, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of good games going on around the state. We're keeping our eye on them. A lot of interest there. Of course, our focus right here is on this River Ridge Knights team, 28-7.
Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that 28 points a little bit. Obviously, this offense, like we mentioned, Amir Morrison, you've heard his name. Jackson Head, you've heard his name. But let's talk a little bit about some of the guys that we haven't heard from tonight.
Yeah, those offensive linemen, those unsung heroes. We talked a lot about the Rome offensive line coming into this ball game. A lot of big guys up front, moving folks out of the way. That's really what they did. They kind of shoved Habersham Central around last week in round 1. Tonight, though, it's been the River Ridge, offensive line that has really stood out and, allowed, Amir Morrison to have the yards he did, allowed Bingham to get in the end zone, a couple times. More impressive, they've really formed a nice pocket tonight for Carson Latham to step up and make some big throws. We have not seen him really under duress a lot here, and a lot of good pocket awareness. We talk about Carson Latham, when we talk about Cherokee County quarterbacks, we talk about A.J. Swan, we talk about Brody Rhodes, and rightfully so. Carson Latham, we talk about him being kind of that game manager, but he is stepping up tonight, making some huge throws, and he's got that offensive line up front to help him out there. We talk about Camden Cochran, anchor in the middle there is the center. Deegan on the outside's done a great job there. You talked about Telma, who, of course, grabbed some national headlines there, and you got those guys, Sine and Hall there in the 2 guards. These guys doing a great job up front tonight, allowing Latham to have time. Because, the thing about these long pass plays, hitting Jackson head down the sideline and everything, you got to have time to allow those plays to develop.
Yeah.
If you got guys in your face from the snap, you're not going to be able to make those throws. And so kudos to that offensive line tonight for River Ridge, stepping up and allowing him the pocket to be able to make those plays.
Yeah, I tell you, I think the big thing for me is that you haven't even seen him get hit on the throws. There hasn't even been anybody close. Now, they've done a really good job on run protection and doing a really good job. Rome has getting past the run protection there.
Right. Yeah.
But they haven't done such a good job of getting pressure on Carson Latham. And Latham, to me, has really proven himself tonight. He's only a junior. He'll be back next year. And I'm really excited to see his development into the senior year.
Absolutely. That's the thing. You're very encouraged by the fact that a lot of these guys, the core of this team, is going to be back next year.
Yeah.
100%. And so, it's just the excitement is here with this River Ridge program, and we said it from the first time we saw them this year. Wow. They've really injected the pulse into it, and it's unfortunate that in a 2020 year, capacity has been limited and all that, because you would like to have seen a full house, especially for a game like tonight. But, still a good crowd, student body on hand.
Yeah.
A lot of cowbells you can probably hear in the background, so still a good atmosphere. But, it's just what a turnaround for Coach Michael Collins in just his second year here at River Ridge. And they still have a half to go. It's not over.
Yeah, we're not writing it off yet.
But regardless of what happens here tonight in the second half, it's still just been a remarkable season.
One important thing to note, Rome did win the coin toss and deferred, so Rome will get the ball here to start off the second half. That'll do it for us on the Foundation Financial Halftime Show. We'll take a 2-minute break, and we'll come back bringing you the second half of football featuring your good friend, longtime broadcast partner, Diamond Dave Garner, and Ronnie on the spot keeping the stats for us throughout the night because we need the help so far because it's a cold one, folks. 2 minutes, and we're back. You're listening to WLJA 101.1 FM.
Are you paying too much for your car or home insurance? At Foundation Financial Insurance and Wealth Management, we represent dozens of highly rated insurance companies. We can help you develop the right protection plan for your family and then search to find you the best combination of price and protection. Call us today at 678-880-9571 or come by and see us at 670 East Main Street in Canton for a free, no obligation quote on your home, auto, business, or life insurance. Securities and advisory services offered through Packer Land Brokerage Services Incorporated, unaffiliated entity, member FINRA and SIPC.
As an athlete, you put it all on the line each and every day. Training, skill, and dedication. It's with these same characteristics that Pinnacle Orthopedics puts it all on the line for you, ensuring that you continue to play the game you love. With 5 locations and 16 physicians and surgeons, Pinnacle Orthopedics is the team physician for Kennesaw State University, as well as for many other schools and teams. Using only the latest technologies, Pinnacle Orthopedics is dedicated to keeping you at the top of your game.
Game on! Football's back, and we're celebrating at the all-new Sutherland Nissan Cherokee County. Get game-winning offers right now. Drive the best-selling 2020 Nissan Rogue, or check out the redesigned 2020 Sentra. If you try it, you'll buy it. They're that good, fun, and affordable. Catch the savings now before they're gone. Only at the all-new Sutherland Nissan Cherokee County, across from the Holly Springs Walmart. Online at NissanNorthAtlanta.com. Remember, if it doesn't say Sutherland, you paid too much.
The #1 magazine to read is Enjoy Cherokee. This beautiful full-color seasonal publication keeps you in the know with articles about interesting people, fun events, hot restaurants, and cool ideas. Enjoy Cherokee is for busy people who enjoy a lifestyle magazine worth reading and keeping. You'll find Enjoy Cherokee available at most high-traffic locations and mailed free to homes throughout Cherokee County. Join the thousands who don't miss a single issue. Follow us on Facebook and find issues on EnjoyCherokee.com. Ask for a free publication and enjoy.
Welcome back into the River Ridge Knights as they host the Rome Wolves. Our score here, 28-7. We got about a minute left of preparations as the teams are huddled up and meeting, giving them a little extra time to warm up on this super cold night. Temperatures lowering and lowering, the wind picking up and picking up after the rain front moves forward. But here to bring you through the second half of football here, my good friend, longtime broadcast partner, been doing this for 27 years now. My goodness, he's old. And a little bit big, too, Dave Garner. How's it going, man?
It's doing pretty good. You know, earlier in the pregame, you're talking about, you know, the difference between the game that you and Larry did, you know, a couple years ago and the game here tonight. And I figured you'd say the biggest difference was about 30 pounds.
Well,
but you didn't go there, and I was proud of you for that.
Well, I think the big thing is the only reason that I'm still able to talk and not frozen solid is that, you know, having somebody with so much blubber next to you, you radiate so much heat.
It's body heat.
You know,
exactly.
I saw this thing on Facebook earlier, and it said, "Wow, it's cold outside. You skinny guys okay?" And I was like, "No, we're not. We're not okay. We're freezing, man."
Even us fat guys are freezing tonight, so I can assure you that. But,
I hear you, down to the bone.
Well, we talked about it, of course, Rome winning the opening kickoff. So as Will mentioned there before the break, Rome will be on offense first here in the second half. Again, River Ridge out of Region 7 6A, Rome out of Region 5 6A, making the trip over from Rome, Georgia tonight. And again, a lot of schools in the Floyd County area. Rome, of course, the city school over there has a lot of tradition, a lot of history. They, as we talked about, won back-to-back state championships in 16 and 17 under Coach John Reed, who, of course, is in his 6th season there, 19th overall. 183 wins to his credit. He's a 4-time state champ, winning back-to-back titles at Alcoa, Tennessee as well before coming to Georgia, taking over the East Paulding program that he had basically deep into the playoffs most every year. And now the River Ridge Knights will put his right foot into it. It's another, this one a little bit shorter. It'll be taken at the 32-yard line by the up back hit. Stays on his feet. Uh-oh, watch out. He gets to the near side. He's got some room to run across midfield into River Ridge territory. And he will step out of bounds at around the 46. So a short field for the Rome Wolves to work with just 9 seconds into the second half. And, you know, that's the one thing that you don't want to do if you're River Ridge, is give this Rome team any reason to get any kind of momentum going.
Yeah, that's the big thing. And I think if you're Rome, you're going to make adjustments. By the way, Reese will come out and lead the team back onto the field for the third quarter. So we'll keep an eye on the quarterback situation for you as well. But, yeah, you know, I mean, they're out across into River Ridge territory now, so keep an eye on that. And we'll just have to see if River Ridge can keep their throat on them.
So here's Lackey, first carry of the second half. He's hit right at the line. He falls forward. So
hey, guess who?
Bradley.
Brian Bradley.
See, every time you say that, I know who it is. Brian Bradley's been a beast. He, of course, had a huge game last week in round 1 against Kennesaw Mountain. And he's having another big game here tonight against Rome in round number 2. Second down and 10 after no gain on the opening play. Twins left and right as Rome breaks the huddle. Lackey in the backfield. Again, that is the freshman Reese Fountain, 4 yards deep out of the gun. He's looking to throw the football.
All day.
No one open. Now he's going to just tuck it and run it. Steps up, headed to the far sideline to get what he can, and hit by about 3 or 4 blue shirts over there. Picks up about 6 or 7 inside the 40 down to the River Ridge 39. And they'll mark it back at the 40. So still a good game. They'll go no huddle.
Well, it's one thing I heard Von Brown say on the Friday Nights at the Taverns on their podcast is that Reese is not a big guy. He's 6 foot 160 and doesn't really like to get hit that much. And you can see him kind of bent over at the waist there. And he took a pretty good shot there, and it'll bring up third and about 4 or 5.
Big play right here. Could be 4 down territory, down 28-7. And they will give it to Lackey over the right side. He'll get behind that big offensive line. He's going to be just shy of the marker. Going to be about 2 yards short here, 4th and 2, but I fully expect they'll go for it right here, down 28-7.
Especially with E.J. Lackey, and you're into River Ridge territory now for one of the first times tonight. I agree it would be a good call here. Because now you do a little bit of clock watching.
You're right, yeah. This is a big play right here. If the Knights somehow are able to turn them away, as they did on one of those 4th down attempts in the first half, this is awfully huge here out of the locker room. A fullback in this time. They will hand it to Lackey. He's got the first down over the right side as he goes inside the 35. And a fresh set of downs upcoming for Rome on their opening series here, 2 minutes into this third quarter.
Dylan Prasad, first time we've called his name tonight, had 79 tackles on the season, 4 tackles for loss, a sack, and a fumble. Forced fumble, I should say. And he did a good job wrapping him up around the ankles, but it was enough for a first down. So Rome with a good call there, up to the 38.
Yeah, we talked about River Ridge, 5 one-possession games this year. Rome's had 4 of their own, and they've won those as well. So both these teams battle-tested in close ball games. Going to swing this one out. Quick hitter right there, trying to get out of a tackle. A quick pass there, and the reception made by Martell Height, the sophomore. And he has about 7 yards there on first down.
Connor Gross made the tackle on him. Good open field tackle. Made sure he didn't get to the first down marker, but still a good gain for them as well. Martell's the guy they like to line up in the slot. He's a little bit smaller, 6'1", 155 than the outside receivers, but he still is quick.
2nd and 3 from the near hash. Quick toss right here. Going to try to throw it back, a double pass. They throw it over, and there is some room to run. 20-15-10, and right inside the pylon. It'll be a touchdown on a throwback play to the freshman quarterback. And no, I think they're going to mark him out. Oh, there is a flag.
Yep, number 61 for Rome held the center, and this will be brought back. Got a handful of jersey across the side of Hunter Coleman, so they'll push it back.
So that negates a touchdown. Beautifully designed and executed play there. Throwback to the quarterback.
Well, except for the hold. That was what allowed him to get there. And a good job by River Ridge to sell it there. As he was trying to run away, he put up his hand doing what they teach you to do, try and get him to grab more jersey, and he did. And the official saw it. It was right in his face, so it'll push him back. So fortunate there for River Ridge. But, yeah, that play was sprung by the hold. So, you got away, couldn't get away with that one. It was a little obvious.
So instead of 2nd and 2, it'll be 2nd and 8. Again, there's a spot foul there. They'll maybe make it 2nd and 6 right here, 2nd and 7.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Near side, hash in Rome again. Receivers left and right. And going to throw a quick slant. They've got a man at the 25, makes a move inside the 20. And that one right on the money by Fountain this time. That one was complete to Martavius Collins, the freshman. A lot of freshmen and sophomores, a young Rome team. Losing 3 ball games, very un-Rome-like, but they've got a lot of younger players.
Yeah, they do. And, that's the thing is when you spread the ball around, freshmen 6'2", 208 at tight end position.
Shotgun snap, 1st and 10. They hand it to Lackey, trying to get off.
And there's a hold on Brian Bradley there that sprung that play as well.
Yeah, that one's going to come back 8 yards if it stands, but it won't. I don't believe it won't.
The number 70, the tackle over there on that end, Brian Bradley beat him off the ball, and the only thing he could do was reach around and grab him. So, move him back. Good job by the officiating crew calling both of those holdings as well. They weren't easy to see, but they were right where the play was going. So they're not like those holdings that happen on the other side of the play where people get frustrated. That hasn't been these 2 holding calls. They've been right where the action is. So good job by the officiating crew so far in this one.
And because that one happened in the backfield, that's
going to be a
big penalty there. I mean, first down at 22.
Yep.
So the penalty happened a couple yards behind the line. Quick little bubble screen right here, but that one's going nowhere. They swung it over to Height, the sophomore, but he didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. Lost
Number
a yard.
90, Brandon Dye, and whoever Height who completed that, a little bit slow to get up.
Got his legs taken out from under him right there.
Yeah.
Second down and 23 after a loss of 1, and the ball back out to the 30-yard line.
Hey, Brandon Dye, 5'8", 180 pounds, 25 tackles. He's already had 2 tackles for loss in this game, so that'll be 3 on the season, 2 sacks. He's only a sophomore, by the way, getting a starting spot on this River Ridge team. Keep an eye on that young man. I know we talk a lot about Brian Bradley, but he's somebody that could make some waves.
Out of the gun, Reese Fountain loads up. He's got a man complete near sideline inside the 20-yard line, and they get back to the original line of scrimmage and right at it. So a gain of 13. It'll be third down and about 10 right here. And so now it is a manageable situation. You got to wonder, and of course it's all speculation, if they don't make it right here, if they'll
go for it or
kick
kick
a field
field
goal.
goal.
If they'll go for it, I think it'll depend a lot on what they do right here, obviously, on this third down play.
Yeah, Jaquavius Wise one-on-one out there to the near side with Micah Martineau. Just a little bit of a size disadvantage. Jaquavius, 6'4", 170. Micah, 5'9", 155. But, yeah, I think you're right. I think they'll probably try and go for it.
Here is Reese Fountain, steps up. He's going down.
Hunter Coleman got him.
22-yard line. The freshman quarterback is taken down hard for the sack, and that'll back him up. So 3rd and 10 becomes 4th and 15, and now it looks like they may very well try a field goal here.
Yeah, you ain't going for it now.
So this will be Fernando Lopez Romero, 30 of 35 on PATs coming into the game, 7 made field goals. And this one will be put down. They're going to call this one about a 40-yarder. It'll be officially a 39-yard field goal from the near hash. He's got the leg. We've seen him during warm-ups. This is a low liner, but it will make it through. And with 7:10 remaining in the third period, Rome does turn their opening drive into points, but a nice job by the Knights defense to at least keep them from getting the 6 points. The new score on the Sutherland Nissan scoreboard is 28-10 in favor of River Ridge. The Knights will have the ball after a 30-second timeout. You're listening to Round 2 right here on North Georgia's 101.1 FM WLJA.
As an athlete, you put it all on the line each and every day. Training, skill, and dedication. It's with these same characteristics that Pinnacle Orthopedics puts it all on the line for you, ensuring that you continue to play the game you love. With 5 locations and 16 physicians and surgeons, Pinnacle Orthopedics is the team physician for Kennesaw State University, as well as for many other schools and teams. Using only the latest technologies, Pinnacle Orthopedics is dedicated to keeping you at the top of your game.
You're listening to WLJA FM 101.1 and WLJA HD1 LJ, Woodstock, Jasper, Canton, and all of North Georgia.
Asa Jones back on master control right here tonight, making this sound
so good.
So good. Dave Garner along with Will Cooper, Ronnie Cooper with us as well. Long kickoff right here. I think River Ridge was anticipating a possible onside kick, so they didn't have anyone back deep, and that one goes into the end zone. They'll come out to the 20. But a scoring drive for Rome. They turn the opening drive into points. They do get close enough as, again, Lopez Romero hits a 39-yard field goal to make it a 28-10 ball game. And now if you're River Ridge, you'd like to put together a big, long drive here and turn it into points yourself.
Ronnie, what's the summary on that drive?
They had 9 plays. They only netted 25 yards. Now, they have 5 rushes for 9 attempts and 4 of 4 passing for 30 yards, but they had the minus 15 on the 2 holding penalties that netted that out. 4 minutes and 50 seconds.
All right. A lot of time taken off the clock. Big news there.
So River Ridge with the ball for the first time here in the second half. Amir Morrison with the carry is ate up right at the line of scrimmage. Keeps those legs driving. They may give him a half yard, but that's about it. And I think they'll just mark him down right at the original spot. 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, the running game's still not really there for River Ridge. Now it's interesting to see what River Ridge can do. Rome's made the halftime adjustments. They were able to get a field goal there. It's really important for River Ridge to keep their foot on the gas and keep things going.
Carson Latham, twins left and right near hash, going to load up through a deep out, and that one just a little too tall that time for the intended target. That was intended for Riley Keynes up around the 28, but it'll go out of bounds. And so just like that, 3rd and 10. And now if you're River Ridge, you're trying to avoid what happened in the first half to Rome. You know, a 3-and-out on their opening drive. You don't want to give the ball right back to a team that just put up points, so a big 3rd down here.
Yeah, and you also want to give your defense just a second to breathe. It's cold, so you don't want to get them cold, obviously. And that's one thing about the offense. Maybe they're a little cold. They've been sitting on the sideline for about 5 minutes.
Plus the halftime break as well. Going to load up right here. That one over the middle. It's caught up at the 35.
Riley
Finally
Keynes
wrestled down at the 40. And How about Riley Canes? We talked about him last week. 3 catches, 56 yards, and a touchdown. A couple of big grabs over the middle here tonight, and that time, once again, just used his big body to go up and catch that football. And another 3rd and long conversion, the 3rd of the night.
But it's open over the middle of the field. You know, we saw that before they went into halftime. They haven't adjusted to it yet. You run to the first down marker, and then Riley Canes, 6'1", 210, did a really good job dragging people with him even further. But enough for the first down right where he cut the route off. River Ridge does such a good job with that.
Once again, Rome defense fails to get off the field. And this time they go right back on the ground. Morrison forward for 2 yards up to the 43. You know, River Ridge has overcome a 3rd and 9, a 3rd and 10, and a 3rd and 11.
Yeah.
Conversely, Rome has been unable to get off the field in those situations, and that's what you got to be able to get off the field on those downs.
Yeah, especially because you're playing from behind now, and now you're worried about the clock because they're doing a really good job running this clock. Like Ronnie mentioned, you know, they burned 4 minutes and 10 seconds on their possession where they only able to get 3. River Ridge will take that all day. I'll give you 4 minutes off the clock if you'll take 3 points away.
They're going to run the play clock down inside 10 seconds as Carson Latham stares at the sideline, gets the play brought in, barks it out to the offensive line. A receiver up top, trips to the near side. Morrison, the lone back, going to run a little option play here to Morrison, who tries to get outside. And no room. They stretch it out towards the sideline due to the Wolves. They'll run out of bounds right at the original line of scrimmage, so no gain. 3rd down and 8 upcoming.
You know, 3rd down's the money down where your offense really earns their money is what, you know, why they call it that. But it's also for River Ridge, it seems like the down they're most comfortable in, where if they got to a 3rd and 5, they may not know what to do with it. So, hey, keep them 3rd and 9. And, we got a flag. I believe it's going to be against Rome.
It's a substitution
penalty.
Yeah.
My goodness, Rome doing the simple things wrong. Sideline warning. Okay.
Yeah, I think that was just a sideline.
Yeah, okay.
Sideline warning there. And they are going to mark the penalty yard.
Wow.
Yeah.
Normally they give them a warning to begin with, Dave.
Yeah,
we
saw that. We saw that penalty in the first half. You know, illegal substitution.
It was a substitution penalty.
Yeah, he got that wrong because it's 5 yards.
They had a guy running off just as they got ready to snap.
Yeah, yeah. Because if it was a sideline warning, it'd be 15 yards.
Yep, you're right.
It's an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. So good job, Ronnie. The white hat might have given us the wrong hand signal there.
So 3rd down and 4 instead of 3rd and 9 right here for the River Ridge offense. And Latham going to throw this ball back. He's got right up against the far sideline. 1st down, Amir Morrison. He rolled to his right, took 2 steps to his right, did Latham, threw back to Morrison out of the backfield, and Rome didn't have anybody there to defend it.
Hey, good to know. They do have a playbook plan for 3rd and 4, and they found it. It's Amir Morrison, man. And like I mentioned, you know, making the LaDainian Tomlinson comparison, that's one out of the old North Turner playbook. Wheel route, right in the flat, give your guy the space, move those chains.
1st down and 10 from the Rome 45 as the Knights cross midfield once again here tonight, leading 28-10 on the Sutherland Nissan scoreboard. Again, Morrison went out of bounds on that last play, so the clock stops with 5 minutes and 10 seconds here in the 3rd quarter. Now they'll run Bingham out of the backfield, but they'll hand it to Morrison, but he's swallowed up behind the line. And this Rome Wolves team, we talked about the River Ridge offensive line, but this Rome Wolves defensive front, they have snuffed out a lot of plays in the backfield tonight.
They have, and that's the thing that if you're River Ridge, you can live with that because you're getting the passing plays that you need. And Carson Latham's really bailing you out right now. They're playing as a unit. Look, if you're River Ridge, maybe it might be time to go away from the trying to run with Morrison. Try and get him some outside passes because that's where they've really excelled with getting the yardage that they like.
Trips to the near side. They're going to throw it out to Morrison again. 1 cut, but he slips down right at the line of scrimmage there, so no gain that time. They were trying to, you like him in a one-on-one situation, Amir Morrison, obviously, and that's what they're trying to do is create as many of those situations because you got to feel like he's going to win 8 out of 10.
Well, I have ESPN, ESPN2, and ESPNU, and that's why I was able to see that one coming from a mile away. But I tell you, I like the matchup as well, get him out in space. That time the turf monster came up and got him and cut him down short. But 3rd and 12 here, this is where River Ridge's comfortable, man. Let's see if they can convert it here.
3rd down and 12 this time. They've done it from 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11, as we said. Let's see if they can do it from 3rd and 12. Clock inside, 4 minutes, 3rd quarter. Carson Latham steps up, fires a deep out. He's got a man, 1st down. Deep sideline route, just an excellent route by Jackson Head. They were playing off of him to respect the deep ball. He broke the route off, and Latham put it right on the money up against the sideline.
But they broke off the route right at the 1st down marker. I tell you, it's like the NFL should watch River Ridge Knights football right now because it's so frustrating to watch. And that's why it's so exciting to see a team that can do it right, and they coach it well. These River Ridge Knights are the most well-coached team we've seen so far this season, and they're really showing it in this game.
Martell Height just got lost in coverage there. Still one-on-one. They have went with a two-deep safety look to try to help over the top. But just a great route there by Jackson Head, and an equally good ball from Carson Latham, who's been on the money tonight. And now the play clock is about to run out here. They got to snap it in a hurry, and they won't get it off, so it'll be a delay of game. Went down to 0.
A little miscommunication with Amir Morrison and Carson Latham. I believe it was going to be a handoff because Amir was behind him, and he asked him to come to the side, maybe a play action or something like that, but they'll take a minute to talk about it.
And I think they burned a timeout. Yep, they did.
Yeah, so it won't be a delay game. It'll be a timeout.
Yeah, they called a Coach Collins burn, the first of 3. With 3:11 left here in the third quarter, we'll keep the action right here for you. Again, 28-10, River Ridge leads Rome on the Sutherland Nissan scoreboard. And a fourth quarter upcoming right here. But this has been a long, Rome took the opening drive, ate a lot. It didn't go very far, but they ate up a lot of time for just 3 points. This is River Ridge's opening drive of the third quarter. We're almost at the end of the third quarter already.
The pass to Jackson Head there was an adjustment off the first half. That same play they ran long 3 times, hit it long 3 times. When the safety went over the top, they cut that off at 13 yards. They had 2 guys back there to cover him, both 5 yards behind him.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It was really well designed off of what they did in the first half.
I tell you, this River Ridge coaching staff is one of the best coaching staffs as a whole, by the way. We give a lot of credit to Coach Michael Collins, and we should. But I tell you, they do everything well. Wide receivers coach everybody.
Here's Amir Morrison around the outside. Will dip out of bounds. And good job there again by the Rome Wolves to stretch that play out to the sideline. Minimal gain, maybe a yard is all, and he goes out of bounds to stop the clock at 3:07.
Might start telling Amir to fall down in bounds because that's been the third time he's ran out of bounds on this drive. Now, listen, Amir, 5'7", 150, and we keep talking about it because it is the one thing that they mentioned with him at the next level. But I tell you, maybe just fall down in inside territory. That way we can run some clock here. But still not clock watching yet.
They're going to say he ran out of the 30, so a loss of 1. Here's Latham gearing up, had a man in his face. This time still gets it off and complete at the 22 and out of bounds to Riley Caines, who has yet another grab. And that's going to be a gain of about 8 yards down to the 21, so it'll be 3rd down and 2. So, again, 2nd and 11. 3rd and 2, 9 yards on the play as the clock stops momentarily at 3:01.
Bryson Hill had him in one-on-one coverage out there, and Riley Caines just said, give me that, and took it away from him. 5'9", 175-pound corner with 1 interception and 17 pass deflections, but Riley Caines just took it away from him. 6'1", 210, just bigger, and they're going to get another free first down as Rome jumps off sides.
Yeah, a lot of frustration right there as Rome jumped into the neutral zone. So 3rd down and 2, a free 5 inside the 20. Man.
I mean, they just make Rome look really, really, really lost out there.
So the River Ridge Knights will move into the Foundation Financial Red Zone here. Once again, Ronnie and all the guys there, downtown Canton, stop by and see them. They'll fix you up right. Make sure your finances are in order.
Much better than anybody in Jasper can do. I'll tell you that much.
1st down and 10.
Oh.
Knights, ball loose on the ground, but they were able to fall back on it. Yeah, I think the snap, it was a shotgun snap, but they had a H-back in there, and I think it may have went off his leg before it got to Latham.
All right, I'm going to eat crow here. On our Sports Blitz, I heaped praise on Camden Cochran and said he never has missed a snap before. We've never said that with River Ridge. I'm sorry, Camden. That's my fault. I take the blame for it. I jinxed you. I did it. I did it on Monday. So my fault. I went back and listened to the podcast and said, ooh, I probably shouldn't have said that.
Loss of 5 there on the snap. 2nd down and 15. Morrison out of the backfield. Going to load up right here. One-on-one. Just a little too tall there inside the 5-yard line. One-on-one matchup. And looked like the corner may have had a little
grab
forearm there.
Yeah.
Maybe a little grab, but they're going to let that one play. Maybe a good no call.
It may be. From here, it looked like he was slowing him down a little bit. Riley did a good job trying to sell it by extending that outstretched hand. Wasn't able to put the other hand up. But normally you can tell if a receiver's upset, and he didn't come away complaining, saying, hey, where's my flag? So the River Ridge side wanted a flag, but no harm, no foul, I suppose. 3rd and 16.
Yeah, big down right here. Rome has been unable to get off the field in these situations here tonight, which has been a big reason for the Knights' success. But this would be the longest conversion of the night. They have to get down to 6, and now they'll blow this play dead, and we may have some movement.
Let's see who it's on. River Ridge, false start.
So that's going to make this 3rd and 16, 3rd and 21 now.
Perfect. Right where they want it.
Right where they want it. So the penalty will push the ball all the way back outside the 25. So we were momentarily in the red zone. Now we're not. And the ball is at the 27. So they've got to get down to the Rome 6-yard line for a first down. So
well, I think if you're River Ridge, you'd be willing to take a field goal here. But you do want to make it closer for Scotty Rutherford because you are kicking into the wind at this side.
Little coverage right here. Going to throw one. Oh, boy, that was dangerous. They tried to throw a little bubble screen back to head, but he overthrew him, and probably even better that he did. Martell Height had a beat on it. Yeah. And so it'll be 4th down. Now, this is a long field goal attempt right here. This would be about a 45-yarder for Rutherford, and I'm not sure he's got that leg.
No, I agree with this. I mean, this thing, 4th and 21 is a long way to go, but hey, send him to the end zone. Jackson Head, Riley Kane's on one side. It looks like Micah Martineau might be out there, and Andrew Bingham in the slot. So see where you can find it. 2 high safety. They're going to double cover Riley Kane's, leave Jackson Head one-on-one with Martell. He's not asking for help.
There we go. Takes the snap. Going to launch it
there
towards the end zone. He's got a guy there. And it's
defense.
Knocked away at the last minute. Jackson Head had 2 steps on the safety, but that one was just a shade underthrown. And the Wolves defender was able to get a hand on that ball and knock it down in the end zone.
Great job. Bryson Hill, as we mentioned, came up and made a fantastic play on the ball. That's his 18th pass deflection. And normally pass deflections are not something I keep track of. But when you see a guy who has 17 on the season, you really feel like you need to write that down. I felt the need to, and I'm glad I did because that was his 18th. Maybe not a ball hawk, but a really good corner out there doing a good job. And the important thing to note is that was not the safety that was designed to double. That was a corner that rolled over off of Riley Kane's.
Yep.
So that's what they were trying to do. They were trying to throw off Latham by saying, hey, I don't need no help from the safety. That's what he turned around and said. What he was saying was, you come get Canes. I want to get the cornerback to come help me at the safety position. Exactly what they did. Good try, though.
The play was there, and now going to try to load up right here is Reese Fountain, but he's just going to have to throw to the outlet. Lackey out of the backfield, but he'll lose yardage. River Ridge all over that play and basically had nowhere to go with the football down the field. They were looking for the home run ball there, realizing they need points in a hurry, but they lost 2 yards on a completion. And the clock inside a minute and a half here in this third quarter.
Yeah, that last drive, 15 plays, 5 minutes, 18 seconds. Even if you don't score, you got down the field and you ate up clock.
Yeah, field
position, yeah. So a minute 12 here, 28-10. River Ridge leads Rome. Another bubble screen right here. That one a little bit high. And it's caught, but they're going to lose another yard there. And once again, the clock keeps running as well. So all of a sudden, it's 3rd and 13. And if you're Rome, you need a big play right here from your own end.
Good job by Aiden Bruton coming out there and making the tackle on number 4, Martell Height, a guy that when you look at that on paper, you say, wow, Height's a lot faster. Well, it was really not a good throw from Reese. Kind of overthrew him a little bit. Martell had to back up, kind of play like he was a center fielder reading a baseball as it comes off the bat. Wasn't able to get a full head of steam. Aiden came over there, wrapped him up. 76th tackle of the season for him.
Low snap, Bradley in his face.
Got
He'll bring
him
down at the 15-yard line. And the freshman had no chance on that one.
Guess who? My goodness. Brian Bradley right now is playing like his head is on fire. My goodness. His 2nd sack of the night, 3rd sack for the River Ridge Knights. And Brian Bradley, man, right now just cannot be stopped.
Fountain jogs off the field, punt formation right here. Rome's going to try to get the punt off before the end of the quarter just to save a little bit of time here, and they do just in time. And that is, again, wow, the kicker, Lopez Romero, averages 32.5 yards a punt. Also handles the place-kicking duties as well. But a short punt right there. The ball fair caught at the 43 of Rome, and that is the end of the third quarter. We'll take a 30-second break. When we return, the Rome Wolves will be trailing 28-10 to the River Ridge Knights, who will work with a short field on offense. 30 seconds, and then back with more of round 2. You're listening to North Georgia's 101.1 FM WLJA.
Are you looking for a great deal on a new set of tires, brake service, an oil change, or alignment?
Need a gift certificate for someone on your list?
Well, then come on in to Canton Tire and Well and let our guys take care of your vehicle.
We're certain that you'll be pleased with our service.
Call Canton Tire and Will today at 770-479-6556.
From our family to yours, have a safe holiday season and a very Merry Christmas.
Big shout out to Patrick O'Shea, again from the Cherokee Tribune here tonight. And, of course, we do a lot of stat sharing and got our little thread that we talk about behind the scenes. A lot of good conversation throughout the high school football season.
Even if it's not high school football related, we do have a lot of fun in there.
A lot of food talk.
A lot of food.
Especially
it is.
With Von
well,
Brown.
Von Brown, man, he made some wings, looked real good.
Art made us some pound cake last week.
He did. It was good, too.
Very delicious. So here we go. Start of the fourth quarter. Amir Morrison
is
off and running. Inside the 30, inside the 20, and out of bounds. And that's how this fourth quarter gets underway. The River Ridge Knights, again, lead the Rome Wolves 28-10 on the Sutherland Nissan scoreboard. And, again, River Ridge went for it on fourth down on their last drive. They didn't get it, but the defense put Rome 3 and out as the Wolves promptly had to punt the football back, and they did so with a short field to River Ridge that started this drive just outside the Rome 40. One play from Morrison. They're down to the 20. Now Carson Latham out of the gun will look over the sideline as once again the Knights go no huddle. A big drive right here. You got to feel like if the Knights can punch one in here, maybe take a minute or clock, they'll be in good shape the rest of the way. Morrison trying to break a tackle. Is slung forward and still picks up 5-6 yards on first down.
Yeah, I tell you, Amir finally getting rolling a little bit. We talk about it. Keith Adams Jr. is one of those guys that pounds you away, and then when you get to the fourth quarter, he just keeps hitting you in the mouth. Amir Morrison's doing that right now. He's not the big bruising back like Amir or like Keith Adams, 5'10", 200 pounds over there at Cherokee, 5'7", 150, but he does it a different way. And these offensive linemen have just been leaning up against this defensive line so far all throughout the night, and it is working so far, and they've got a few running holes open. Now, listen, it wasn't the big break there, that 5 yards, but still, that was a play that normally would be stopped for a loss or a gain of just 1 or 2. So they're making a little headway here in the rushing game.
Little misdirection play. Here's Bingham. He's got lots of running room. 10, 5, working his way inside the 5-yard line. He's finally shoved backwards, but a big play there, and it'll set up a first down and goal from the 4-yard line. And once again, the Knights are knocking on the door.
Well, watch. They're going to sub out Andrew Bingham for Hunter Coleman, the defensive end, going heavy package here. Watch two tight ends. Riley Kane, 6'1", 210. Hunter Coleman, 6'3", 200. And that's what exactly they're going to do. Watch them run to the left-hand side here with the two lead blockers, or weak side on the right side.
Latham going to hand it off. Morrison inside, cuts outside. He's in the end zone. The third rushing touchdown of the night for Amir Morrison. And the River Ridge Knights, with 10:43 here in the ball game, are trying to make a bid for a quarterfinal game right here next Friday night at the Ridge.
And Amir Morrison, a big key to that, as you saw on that drive right there, finally got things running. Called it exactly how it happened right there. Two tight ends on the near side. You see Hunter Coleman come in. He runs to the left-hand side. Riley Kane, that's 410 pounds, split between two guys. Amir Morrison bounces it outside, and that extra little bit of speed gets him to the corner. Touchdown. River Ridge pinning the extra point here.
And here's Scotty Rutherford trying to remain perfect for our PATs on the night. Puts his foot into it, and the right foot is true. 35-10. 10:43 to play in the ball game. We'll step aside for 30 seconds and be right back. Well, hold on. Let's hold here. There was a roughing the kicker, which will be assessed on the kickoff. So after this 30-second break,
onside.
It might be another onside kick from River Ridge. Don't go away. Plenty more to play. We're back at 30.
When you are the official sponsor of the comeback, adding a few feet to a drive matters.
First down.
So does shaving a tenth of a second off a lap. Top-rated surgery, physical therapy, and motion analysis by the sports medicine team at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta helps young athletes not only prevent injuries, but heal faster and return stronger, ready to win. Our more than 25 orthopedic and sports medicine locations are ready to assist your athlete's comeback. To learn more, visit choa.org/sportsmed.
Ronnie on the spot back with us. Ronnie, you got some stats for us on that last drive?
Yeah, short drive that time. 1 minute, 17 seconds, 4 plays, all on the ground, 45 yards. Amir was 3 of 31 on that one.
All right. Bumping him up, getting real close to 100 now, right?
Yeah, that running game starting to come alive there, and that was such a big score.
22 rushes for 86. He had a lot of negative yards on that drive before.
Working it, though.
Yep.
So the question is, and there was a lively debate during that 30-second timeout, folks, between the Coopers over here about whether you onside this thing or not.
Yes.
You know, once again, the personal foul roughing the kicker penalty, so Scotty Rutherford will tee this ball up on the roll.
He's going
45.
too far back. I think he's going to try and kick it deep. Squib it a little bit.
See what happens right here. Rome, they still have their normal return team out there, but they're paying a little bit more attention, and they will just hit this one deep into the end zone.
Ronnie on the spot one. Will 0.
So there we go. Well, again, a big ball game here tonight. Obviously, in case you're just joining us, River Ridge came out of the gate, scored the first points of the ball game, a 27-yard touchdown reception by Jackson Head. They went up 13-0 on the first of 3 Amir Morrison touchdowns, rushing on the night, 14-0. And then, of course, another one after a short field onside kick success. Just 16 seconds later, Morrison in the end zone again. It was 21-0 after the first quarter. And then, of course, the team swapped scores in the second quarter, 28-7 at halftime. And now River Ridge with a score here makes it 35-10 after a Rome field goal on their opening drive of the half. And here's a pass play up across the 30, complete for a first down out of the hands of the freshman there. Again, Reese Fountain. And let's see. Nope. Yep, he's still in there.
Yeah, he is.
No, they got E.J. Lackey.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. Well, Fountain in there. And he's going to throw this ball near side. Caught.
Great coverage by Chase Usher.
Hit immediately. Yeah, just 2, maybe 3 yards forward progress up across the 35.
Excuse me. That was Micah Martineau came up and made the tackle before he even caught it. Wow. Chase Usher was on the other side of the field. Sorry, they'll flip him around here. Watch number 12 here. Martavius Collins, you have him listed as a receiver. I got him at tight end, but he's out here on the far side.
Little draw play right here. Lackey, who's been somewhat quiet by Lackey standards, takes for a couple up to the 40. The Knights have done a nice job overall in trying to slow that rushing attack. Of course, he does have the lone Rome touchdown tonight on the ground, his 10th of the year. Amir Morrison, though, with 28 touchdown rushes for Amir Morrison with 3 tonight. Adds to his total. 3rd down and 4 right here. Fountain looking to throw the football, fires the pass too high, and boy, that ball could have been intercepted right there. So it is 4th down, but with 9.5 to play, I would expect that even with this ball inside their own 40-yard line,
you have to go for it.
John Reed just going to say, hey, you know what, we ain't got nothing to lose.
I think they're running the punt team out. With 25, I mean, you're down 25 points with 9.5 minutes to go. You're really running out of opportunities to make it up.
Well, Martineau going to go deep, but if I'm River Ridge, I don't trust it. They do leave their defense on the field, but they will indeed punt this ball game away. I don't want to say they're conceding this game as Martineau makes the fair grab at the 30-yard line, but it's certainly looking good for the Knights.
I'm kind of surprised by that punt, Dave. I don't know if you are, but, I mean, it certainly says a lot.
You got to score 4 times in 9 minutes. I don't know why you punt.
Yeah, I mean, you do have all 3 timeouts, but you haven't shown any signs of slowing down River Ridge to this point. You would think that anytime you get the football, you really have to try and punch it into the end zone. I wonder if you could go back and redo it if you take that field goal again, or if you try to punch it in since you were so close. Hindsight is 20/20, of course.
Yeah, well, right now the Knights will just try to get lost behind that offensive line here and try to work this clock, and who knows, maybe put a little exclamation point on this one on the other end.
Yeah.
So the Knights will work from their 30, going right to left across your radio dial. Here's Morrison. He's got some room to run. Watch out. Near side, 40, 45, and down at the 49, just shy of the midfield stripe goes Amir Morrison. And that run right there, put him over 100.
That'll do it.
So a 19-yard run by Amir Morrison, and all of a sudden you kind of feel like he's just a step away from breaking the big one that we've become accustomed to talking about every week.
He's 23 for 105 now.
There we go.
Well, as long as it doesn't go backwards too much, he'll have another 100-yard rushing.
But, at this point in the game, he's not set up to go backwards. It's not what he does in the fourth quarter. He keeps running forwards, falling forwards, and it's really paid off dividends. This River Ridge defense, looking at the Rome defensive line, hands on hips, they're just tired.
I think their wheels have been broken maybe a little bit too here. As Morrison again, as he has a yard forward progress. They'll mark him down just on the Rome side of midfield, 49-yard line, and the clock will roll inside 8.5 minutes. River Ridge leads it 35-10 over the Rome Wolves, who came in at 8-3 overall, 6-1 in their region. That lone loss in the regions we talked about to Carrollton.
Yeah. Carrollton, last we checked, was up 6-32 at half over Sprayberry. And Brunswick is losing to Lee County 27-7. Carrollton still up 32-6 now in the third quarter.
So here's 2nd down and 8 after a gain of 2 by Morrison. And this time it's Bingham on the ground. Big running lane right in the middle of the field. The sea parted there. A great job by the offensive line there. A little trap play, and Bingham goes inside the 40 for a first down run.
They have so many ways to do it to you, whether it's Andrew Bingham on the ground, through the air, Jackson Head through the air, Riley Canes through the air, Amir Morrison, all these guys that come in and come out. By the way, Amir Morrison will check out. Just a breather. He's doing fine. Doesn't look like he's going to need anything in particular, but Tyler Carter will come in and replace him. A little bit bigger back, 5'9", 180.
Cameron Cochran, again,
big center,
yeah.
5'11", 250. Had a chance to interview him at the preseason. One of the leaders of the offensive line. Once again, your center's kind of the quarterback of the offensive line.
And here's Bingham again. This time going to be drugged down. There was a hole there momentarily over the right side, but it closed in a hurry. And so just back to the line of scrimmage, and no more may have lost a half a yard.
Good job by Tyson Brown there. Sophomore, 6'2", 220. We talked about him a lot. Defensive tackle alongside of Steffley and Green. Both those guys, sophomores for Rome. We'll expect them to grow a little bit. One 6'3", 240, the other 6', 220. They'll probably grow into their frames quite a bit as they get a little bit older as well. Kind of hard to think they've just got their driver's license.
2nd down and 11 after a loss of the yard there, but more importantly, everyone's looking at that clock as we go inside 7 minutes. 35-10 River Ridge once again on the Sutherland Nissan scoreboard. The Knights have 2 timeouts. Rome has all 3. Out of the gun, and again on the ground. Morrison inside now, outside now, changes field, and
be a flag for illegal motion. Jackson Head was up on the offensive line and then had to take a step back and never got set, so it'll be a 5-yard penalty against River Ridge.
Yep, good call. That will stop the clock. If you're River Ridge right now, you just don't want to cause a clock stoppage.
No turnovers, nothing stupid. Just keep moving the football. If you want to try and throw it on 3rd down and short, you can, but I don't think they will. They'll just keep it on the ground. With 6 minutes and 42 seconds left, if you keep everything in front of you and play smart football, a 25-point lead at this point is 4 possessions.
Yeah.
So it's insurmountable to a certain notion there. Now, I don't know if you saw, but the Alabama state championship game, the team scored 10 points. I think it was like
in 18
seconds.
Yeah.
So, listen, anything's possible in football, especially high school football. But let's not take anything for granted here or take anything away from the Knights. They've certainly earned this position to where they can just run clock here and just try and manage the game as the clock will restart after the penalty.
And here's the thing. I mean, coming into this game, we knew River Ridge was certainly capable. We've seen them play this well.
Right.
But I didn't really expect it to be as dominating as it's been. Latham rolls right this time, fires. He's got a man complete. Riley Canes inside the 35. He'll have a gain of about 10 or 11 as they get that yardage back plus some, and they set themselves up 3rd down and 6 right here.
Hey, it's a high percentage throw. If it's not there, you tell Latham, just try and take it upfield, get down, don't get hit, but keep it in bounds. No reason to throw it away. Just don't throw an interception. It was wide open, gain of about 10 there. Make it 3rd and manageable again. If you get a first down here, you're talking about taking off another minute 20 off the clock.
Martineau wide near side. Once
and
again,
Rome jumps off sides again.
That's the 3rd or 4th time?
The 4th time, dude.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying is that Rome, they're going to be short by about a half a click. But, the thing is that Rome is this team that, they have the heritage, and you just expect them to do these things right. And River Ridge has made them look just abysmal. They look like a junior varsity team playing a college-level team. Not saying that the talent discrepancy is there, but what I'm saying is just the confidence of River Ridge. They're just very calm. The thing I like about River Ridge is the body language. No hands on hips. Everybody looks calm, comfortable, and Rome looks really defeated right now.
3rd down and a yard after the free 5. Latham will go under center. Quarterback sneak, and I think he'll have it.
Yep.
Depending on the spot, I think the lineman runs in there, and I think they'll put it down just beyond the markers. So, again, just another deflating drive for this Rome defense right here. They made some stops tonight in the backfield, but they have been unable to get off the field on 3rd down. I mean, we talk about 3rd down as being the big stat there, and if offensively you can convert them and defensively you're unable to, you got to be able to get off the field. And tonight we've seen this River Ridge team convert 3 or 4 3rd down and longs, getting behind the chains, and Rome was unable to get off the field. And just a lot of youth and inexperience. These guys, of course, will certainly be back under Coach John Reed, who we know for sure always puts a good product on the field. So, but This time it's Morrison on the ground. He's got a running lane there.
Took a lot of punishment for it, though.
Yeah, he did. Took a big hit at the end of that one, but still 8-9 yards on the quick hitter, and this Knights offense is feeling it as they continue to run the clock inside 5 minutes with a 25-point lead as they go inside the 20 and enter the red zone once again here. Sosby Funeral Home, our post-game sponsor here tonight. We'll have that for you immediately following the ball game. As the play comes over, once again, now the Knights are not going to be in a hurry. They're going to run that play clock down as far as they can.
Yeah, you technically can't end the game here. You don't have enough yardage to do it. But it's still getting insurmountable very quickly.
There's Andrew Bingham. It's been a solid dose of those guys. Bingham breaks a tackle in the middle of the field, and he will take it into the end zone from 19 yards out, and that might be the icing on the cake.
There goes that boy.
Play in the ball game, and Andrew Bingham tonight has done an excellent job on the ground alongside Amir Morris, and those two have been quite a 1-2 punch. That is Bingham's second rushing touchdown of the night to go along with 3 Amir Morrison rushing touchdowns, and the Knights have basically put this ball game out of reach.
Yeah, you're right about that. Now you're looking at a 32-point lead, which is 5 possessions. Yes, 5 possessions, and that is insurmountable with 4 minutes and 14 seconds left to go. So it doesn't matter if the extra point's made or not, but it is.
Yeah, Rutherford stays perfect here tonight. Scotty Rutherford's kicked the ball real well. So it is 42-10 with 4:14 left here in the ball game. We'll step aside and take what could be our final timeout here in the ball game. 30 seconds, and then back with the remainder of this one. All River Ridge tonight in round number 2. We're back in a moment.
Are you looking for a great deal on a new set of tires, brake service, an oil change, or alignment?
Need a gift certificate for someone on your list?
Well, then come on in to Canton Tire and Well and let our guys take care of your vehicle.
We're certain that you'll be pleased with our service.
Call Canton Tire and Will today at 770-479-6556.
From our family to yours, have a safe holiday season and a very Merry Christmas.
Well, who would have known the River Ridge Knights would come in and dominate the way they have here in this round 2 matchup as they now lead the Rome Wolves 42-10 with 4:14 left here in the ball game. Dave Garner back alongside Will Cooper, the Golden Boy, and Ronnie on the spot Cooper on the stats and numbers as well. We'll talk about that last drive here after the kickoff, but first Rutherford puts his foot into it. Another short one right here, taken by the up back at the 22-yard line, trying to get back into the middle and hit hard up across the 30 and down there.
Ronnie?
All right, 8 plays, 71 yards, 7 rushes for 61, 101 passing for 10 yards. Both teams had a 5-yard penalty, 5:16 time of possession.
Hey, and you cap it off with a touchdown, and that pretty much puts the icing on this cake.
Well, hasn't it kind of been the epitome of what we've seen this year from River Ridge? Amir Morrison, another 3-touchdown performance. He's had several of those kinds of games this year. Andrew Bingham doing his thing as well with a couple. Big plays from Jackson Head in the passing game. Carson Latham doing basically the little things right tonight. Offensive line giving him time. I've been impressed with the defensive effort here tonight.
Well, you know, they play as such a unit, but the big thing to me, River Ridge did exactly what one of my keys was, no turnovers. And they have a different quarterback in, number 21 there.
Yeah, I'm going to throw a quick pass out here, but it's going nowhere. And again, man, nothing has gone right for the Rome offense here tonight. They basically had one drive here in this ball game. That was DeKalen Daniel, the freshman receiver, who made a grab, but he made it 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage on a quick screen there. And once again, the Knights defense was all over it.
Don't have a number 21 on my Rome roster, but that is who did attempt that pass.
You know, we'll try to see here if we can find a number there. Again, trying to get some different guys in to do some different damage here.
Using the shotgun.
That's
off number 25, and that's Sean Nelson, the freshman. So it looks like the backups are in for Rome.
Yeah, Nelson plays a little bit. I believe that's Ronaldo Hodges, the freshman running back who is in it.
21, wow, all right.
So Hodges, again, comes in. Didn't see any Caleb Ellard tonight. We thought we might see the senior, but maybe hobbled, checking up. You never know. I mean, there's a lot of these teams stay pretty tight-lipped as far as personnel, especially before a playoff game.
Yeah.
So nothing surprises me in 2020.
Right. Well, that's the other thing, too, is that you never know who's on the COVID list and things like that, as that is private information. But kind of surprising, the Rome starters are already out. You'd just an interesting look from them.
3rd and 11. Hodges again on the run. He's under pressure, and he'll go down back inside the 25.
Hey, guess who?
And another sack for Brian Bradley.
Oh, geez.
And the clock rolls inside 2.5 minutes. And now the River Ridge Knights can finally relax just a little bit, knowing that this game is all but won.
Yeah.
Leading by 32 here, and I mean, I'm not sure anybody expected, particularly after last week. And I know we keep going back to that, and I know the River Ridge Knights are
tired
sick
of us talking about it.
But I think a lot of people coming into this game would have never seen such a dominating performance coming against a very solid Rome team.
And it is absolutely dominating. It is nonstop domination here, and there's nobody back to return this kick. It doesn't matter. It's going to go. Oh boy, it got a good Rome bounce, but it didn't go very far at all.
Yeah,
it'll finally die at the 46.
Not a great kick from Lopez Romero.
31 yards.
31-yard punt. He doesn't have a long average, though, but Rome hasn't had to punt the football a lot this year with what they do. And this River Ridge crowd is getting on their feet, recognizing that this one is basically in the books as they applaud their team, cowbells and all. Everyone here at the Ridge is on their feet with 1:47 left, and basically all the Knights have to do now is just down the football. And, again, just a tough ball game for the Rome Wolves, who, as we know, again, just a couple years removed from back-to-back state championships, but a very young team this year. They had a lot of freshmen, sophomores playing tonight in some key spots, and that's always a tough thing to overcome. And indeed, the victory formation right now for River Ridge Carson.
So if you're Rome, do you take your timeout since you pulled your starters?
Nah, I don't think they're just going to let this thing run right
that's
here.
What they'll do.
Carson Latham under center. We've only seen him go under center one other time tonight, and that was on that quarterback sneak to pick up the first down a little while ago.
The only time he does it is when he's trying to ADO.
Yep.
But, that's the thing, man, is that, like we said, when I first started doing this, I had a coach tell me one day, he said, high school football is really hard to predict because if my quarterback, if his girlfriend breaks up with him, he fails his math test on Thursday, he said he's not going to be on for Friday. He said, so it's really difficult, you forget that they're kids out there, and they're not just, they're not professionals like in the NFL, and they're not even college-level athletes. They're just, they're 16, 17, 18-year-olds, man. They got social lives. They got stuff they care about outside of the football field, and that's important to them. And you don't really think about that on that level, but that's the thing, is that you never know from game in and game out. You just can't carry it. The other thing, the big thing for Rome is Dave, and you and I both got some time in Rome where we worked in radio, and I think that some people don't realize how long that drive is from Rome all the way over here to Cherokee County, and it is just a haul.
It is a haul here as the Knights will snap it. They may have to snap it.
That'll be it.
They won't have to snap it again, and that's it. And again, a big shout out to Trevor Price, an assistant coach, speaking of Rome, a Berry College alum who has come back to coach at Rome. And, again, it's good to always see my Berry boys there. But that's going to do it. Here's the final seconds. Tick off the clock. And the undefeated dream season continues for the River Ridge Knights, who will move to 11-0 and will find themselves in the quarterfinals for the first time in program history next week right here on Friday night at the Ridge. And they will enter that ball game a perfect 11-0. Final score here tonight, 42-10 on the Sutherland Nissan scoreboard. 2 minutes, and then back with the Sosby Funeral Home postgame report. I'll join Will Cooper on the other side of this 2-minute break. You're listening to the Cherokee County Game of the Week on North Georgia's 101.1 FM WLJA.
There's been so much talk about distracted driving, you're probably sick of hearing about it. Well, we'd rather you be sick of hearing about it than lose your life doing it. The caring staff with Sosby Funeral Home in Canton reminds you that we all have to go sometime, but don't rush it. Wait your turn and don't drive distracted. Keep your hands on the wheel, your eyes on the road, and make sure you stay alert and arrive alive. Drive safely and help us protect our teens. They're the only future we've got. Brought to you by Sosby Funeral Home, honoring life from 191 Jarvis Street in Canton.
It's football time, and Brian Aaron at Woodstock Outlet has some great news for all the football fans.
Hey, y'all, we glad to be a sponsor for these games, and have a great time. Stay safe out there, and we just really do love being part of our community, and thankful we got the best customers a business could possibly have. And we built a new warehouse. We got it full for the pickup or delivery, so we're ready to go. Y'all come see us, and we sure do appreciate you.
I want to make sure that your money outlives you and that you don't outlive your money. Hi, I'm Dave Garner, your local Woodman Life representative. When I'm not broadcasting, I'm doing my best as a poverty prevention specialist to help protect families from financial hardship. Call or visit me online today and see how I can help you and your family stay protected through needs-based life insurance and retirement options. Insurance protection, financial security. That's Woodman Life, standing strong for over 130 years.
Game on! Football's back, and we're celebrating at the all-new Sutherland Nissan Cherokee County. Get game-winning offers right now. Drive the best-selling 2020 Nissan Rogue, or check out the redesigned 2020 Sentra. If you try it, you'll buy it. They're that good, fun, and affordable. Catch the savings now before they're gone. Only at the all-new Sutherland Nissan Cherokee County, across from the Holly Springs Walmart. Online at NissanNorthAtlanta.com. Remember, if it doesn't say Sutherland, you paid too much.
Welcome into the Sosby Funeral Home post-game show. I'm your host, Will Cooper, joined alongside Dave Garner and Ronnie Cooper. Guys, the final score of 42-10, River Ridge. My goodness. It wasn't just a victory of 32 points. It was a domination on both sides of the football from a complete and fundamental standpoint. There was absolutely nothing River Ridge couldn't get right, and Rome had nothing go their way. And my goodness, the River Ridge Knights will move on to the quarterfinals, where they will face off against the winner of Lee and Brunswick. And it looks like Lee County is going to win that one, as it is 34-7 last time we checked over there. And Dave, my goodness.
That's a long trip up from just north of the Albany area.
That's a good point as well.
Albany, and I have family from down there, so I have to say it right. It's Albany. But, yeah, what an unbelievable game here tonight. I mean, you think about the teams coming into this game, and you kind of felt like, or at least we knew, because we've seen this team enough this year to know that they're capable of pulling off a win here tonight. But I'm not sure there were a lot of people that felt like they would see such a dominating performance from River Ridge around the state. But I can guarantee you that Coach Michael Collins and the guys in that locker room, they knew that they could do this. And, again, kudos to the River Ridge Knights, who are enjoying their best season in school history. They find themselves in the state quarterfinals for the first time in program history, and each and every week it's a new record. They had never won a playoff game until, last week. Now they've won their second-round playoff game, and now they're going to the quarterfinals against Lee County, a team that's a perennial power every year. And so, just a remarkable season, continues for the River Ridge Knights. And doing it the way they did tonight tells me that, if they can keep this momentum going, the only thing is they're not going to sneak up on anybody, because I think now they've gained a lot of attention with the score tonight.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's just an unbelievable night all the way around.
Ronnie, your take?
I go back to week 3. We were here to watch them play Etowah,
yep.
And we wondered who we were going to see.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we saw that defense, and we thought maybe it was the level of competition.
Yeah.
Now we watched it today. They outgained this team 410 to 171. Just total domination the entire night on defense, is exactly like we saw before. And I think I certainly have, and I think others around have underestimated the strength of this team. And last week seems like they kind of squeaked by.
Mm-hmm.
But there was never a time in this game where you ever felt like Rome had any chance. I mean, they were out from the beginning.
Yeah, as soon as toe met leather, it was just game over. And I mean, it just, you talk about everything that went their way. Obviously they take the first drive down. Jackson Head mosses the coverage, gets the touchdown, 7-0 up early, and then the turnover there, and then you're up 14-0 in a hurry, and then they commit the personal foul. Next thing you know, hey, you got it at your own at the Rome 38-yard line, punch it in, and it's 21-0 before we can even get out of the first quarter. And then it's 28-7 going into half, and the only thing that Rome was able to muster in the second half was the field goal there at the end. And next thing you know, they're pulling starters with 5 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter, and that'll wrap that one up. So, got some final numbers you want to run by us?
Yeah. So Rome for the game had 51 plays for 171 total yards, 27 rushes for 83 yards, 16 to 21 through the air for 88 yards, 9 first downs, 8 penalties for 54 yards, 19.59 time of possession. River Ridge, 67 plays, 410 yards, 42 rushes for 163, 15 of 23 through the air for 247, 17 first downs, 7 penalties for 43 yards, and 27.56 time of possession, and no turnovers. Clean game from both teams.
Well, that was one of my keys coming into this, is that River Ridge isn't one of those teams that forces a lot of turnovers, but they're also a team that only averages about 1 turnover per game. So if they were able to limit that, you had to like their chances. And, hey, no turnovers, that'll work. Play a clean game and get out of here.
Yeah, we talked about River Ridge defense coming into the game not being overly opportunistic. Just 4 interceptions this year, 16 sacks. Not bad stat line, but only 4 fumble recoveries, 4 takeaways, and we felt like they were going to have to steal a possession or 2 tonight. And really they did that with the onside kick, and they got up early and kind of broke the will a little bit of this young, Rome team. And once that happened, it was a situation where they were able to just wear them down a little bit and get the running game going. They had enough big plays in the passing game against a younger team, and they were able to put this team away. But, just very impressed tonight, I think, with the defensive effort, because you look at what they did last week, 35 points. I mean, most nights you're going to win anyway. So offensively, no struggles last week by this River Ridge team. Defensively, just letting Kennesaw Mountain stick around in the ball game and made big plays when they had to. So tonight, 42 points, not a surprise. Defensively, though, holding this Rome team to 10 points. They came in averaging over 24. Haven't had an explosive offense like we're used to seeing from Rome year in and year out. But nonetheless, just kudos to this defensive side of the ball. I mean, we talked about Brian Bradley. I mean, he was a wrecking ball up front there tonight. You called Connor Gross's name a lot. The Bruton boys, Persades, you talked about, Hunter DeRiso. Martineau had some plays. And even though they don't turn the ball over a lot defensively, they're solid, in what they do, and you talked about not calling the names a lot in the back. They kept everything in front of them. Rome didn't hit any big plays tonight at all downfield in the passing game. They didn't give them the opportunity because those guys up front help those guys out on the back end so much, because they're always putting pressure on the quarterback. Nobody has any time for anything to set up downfield. I'm not sure they completed a pass over 15 yards tonight.
I don't think they did. Let's take our first break of the Sosby Funeral Home postgame show. When we come back, we'll preview the Lee County River Ridge game, and we'll break down where we'll be next week. We know everybody's waiting for that one, so we'll announce where we'll be next week, and we will wrap things up here for you tonight. But let's take a 2-minute break. Before we do that, you're listening to the Sosby Funeral Home on a postgame show on WLJA FM 101.1.
There's been so much talk about distracted driving, you're probably sick of hearing about it. Well, we'd rather you be sick of hearing about it than lose your life doing it. The caring staff with Sosby Funeral Home in Canton reminds you that we all have to go sometime, but don't rush it. Wait your turn and don't drive distracted. Keep your hands on the wheel, your eyes on the road, and make sure you stay alert and arrive alive. Drive safely and help us protect our teens. They're the only future we've got. Brought to you by Sosby Funeral Home, honoring life from 191 Jarvis Street in Canton.
It's football time, and Brian Aaron at Woodstock Outlet has some great news for all the football fans.
Hey, y'all, we are glad to be a sponsor for these games, and have a great time. Stay safe out there, and we just really do love being part of our community, and thankful we got the best customers a business could possibly have. And we built a new warehouse. We got it full for the pickup or delivery, so we're ready to go. Y'all come see us, and we sure do appreciate you.
As an athlete, you put it all on the line each and every day. Training, skill, and dedication. It's with these same characteristics that Pinnacle Orthopedics puts it all on the line for you, ensuring that you continue to play the game you love. With 5 locations and 16 physicians and surgeons, Pinnacle Orthopedics is the team physician for Kennesaw State University, as well as for many other schools and teams. Using only the latest technologies, Pinnacle Orthopedics is dedicated to keeping you at the top of your game.
When you read Enjoy Cherokee magazine, you'll find features about interesting people, pleasing places, and exciting events. Find out more about shopping in Canton, dining in Woodstock, living in Holly Springs, exploring in Ball Ground. There's always some new and refreshing ideas between the pages of Enjoy Cherokee. Enjoy Cherokee is available in most high-traffic locations and mailed free to thousands of homes throughout Cherokee County. For your free subscription, check us out on Facebook and find past issues on EnjoyCherokee.com. Enjoy Cherokee, Cherokee County's favorite magazine.
Welcome back to the Soesby Funeral Home postgame show. I am Will Cooper, joined alongside Ronnie Cooper and Diamond Dave Garner. So, guys, drum roll, please. We know where we're going to be next week. It is at the Ridge as River Ridge Knights host Lee County. If they do win, I believe last time we checked on that, it was 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 time we checked on that, it was